in, or you're to say it.
I'll lead this in like that. Yeah.
Volume when it's coming.
Hello, Moronics. This is Zach. We are live in the air everywhere with our episode 16 podcast. Lots to talk about. My name is Zach.
My name is Jake.
And I am Carl, and we are going to let you know that we have 3 games we're following tonight. We have game 1 of the World Series, Yankees and the Dodgers. We'll get to that here in just a second. Wisconsin is beating Penn State right now, 3-0. LSU, A&M
On Wisconsin.
and LSU and A&M are playing tonight. So those are the 3 games we're going to follow. It gets kind of confusing if we start mentioning, hey, this team's up, 7-0, this team, like, and nobody's really going to follow that.
And I will say, if you do see me go yes or something randomly, that means I got an update and the Rangers are
so yeah, we got the hockey game.
But
too.
I mean, we're not going to update that game.
No.
But that's for my personal.
We'll get into hockey in a second. We actually do want to lead into the World Series because I know this wasn't your best moment as a Yankee fan, but it was a walk-off grand slam, first time in World Series history.
It was a grand slam.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that part, right?
Yeah, because they were down 2-3.
Well, yeah, they're down, and they were up, right? So I saw the score because I was watching a game and everything, right? Like I was watching something else, or I think I put on Boise State UNLV or something.
Right.
They're probably going to lose. Okay, cool, whatever. And then all of a sudden I get the text and they're sorry, Jake. I was like, what did I just miss? Of course I would miss a grand slam walk-off home run.
It happens. They got a lucky hit, and I think we're going to bounce back in game 2.
Not lucky. It's Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
So it's not lucky, but it was just a good hit. It was a home run. I mean, it happens. It's baseball. Yep, I think we all can agree for baseball, it's more 90% luck of not luck, but like the balls go by so fast. If you're a second off, if there's so much more than just skill,
it's timing.
Because it's timing, right? You swing a little bit slower, you swing a little bit high, you swing a little bit low, you swing a little bit to the left. You're guessing the pitch in 2 seconds. Like,
right.
There's so much that could go wrong in this guessing.
Yep.
Yes, it's skill to get there. Yes, it's skill because you can guess it. Yes, it's skill because you can see it. But it's where the ball flies. It's where the ball lands. You can swing the ball the bat as hard as you want, and it's going to come short. Sometimes you can swing it a little bit less, and it goes over.
Yep.
It just all depends on the trajectory and everything.
That pitcher last night, his last name is Cortez. I don't know his first name. He threw 2 pitches last night. One fouled off over into the seats, and Alex Vertigo, former Dodger and Red Sox, caught it. And the next pitch knocked out.
So he literally came in for the last out, pretty much, or whatever it was for the last inning.
And it was
replaced for Luke Weaver.
You can't throw an inside fastball to a left-handed hitter.
You can't throw fast. I don't think you should be throwing it fastball inside the strike zone to anybody on the Dodgers.
But I don't consider this Yankees choked or anything. This was just 2 heavyweights battling out. That's why they're in the World Series. This extra delay that they had because of the Dodgers and the Yankees wrapping their series is up, got that extra rest. So now this bullpen may actually be healthy now. I'm not saying they're a favorite. I'm just saying.
Right. And I also think that there's some people that I've seen on Facebook. I don't know if they ever watch or anything, but I'll drop some names like Steven Counts and everything. Said this is totally on Boone.
Yeah.
And it is. It's a manager decision to pull somebody to.
Right.
How many outs was there when he hit it? 3, 2?
Yeah.
I think it was one.
So he pulled the guy and goes, hey, and how many pitches did Luke Weaver pitch? Was it just that one out?
I think it might have been
he
pitched a couple innings.
Okay, so it was kind of like, okay, he gave up a hit or 2 or something like that, and let's put this guy in.
Right.
Well, yeah, your bases are loaded. If the guy gave up bases loaded, I don't necessarily disagree with it. Like you allow bases up, you're only up by 1. You need to get a new pitcher in there.
Not to mention your second baseman had an error on the base hit where he should have had the ball and it bounced off, or he got closer. He might have hit it, but his glove. I don't think it was. Well, to me, a fielding error is you have to have possession of the ball and it bounces out. Like I think it just brushed off of him or something.
Pitched about almost 1.5 innings.
Yeah.
Luke Weaver did.
And that might be preserving his arm for future games in this series
Because
as
he
well.
is a designated closer.
Right.
I'm getting text that I'm not in the screen.
You're not in the screen. The Three Morons podcast minus
There you
one
go.
person. He's invisible.
Okay, now I'm in the
nice little
screen.
Halloween episode too. Your ghost over there.
Look,
Sorry about
I
that.
dressed up as John Cena. You can't see me.
You can't see me.
Bowl of Fruity Pebbles. But no, I think I don't disagree though. Like if your pitcher is allowing people to get on base, you need to change it. I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
And it happens. It's one game. Now, yes, it was pivotal that they should win that game because the Dodgers have home field advantage.
Right.
So you always want to take one in the first 2 games or 3 games or whatever at their home.
Going back
You
to
need
New York,
to if you want to win at home.
And another thing is that Dave Roberts said in his post-game interview, and he says, if we don't get that, you're talking to Aaron Boone, and we both as managers have to live by our decisions.
Yeah,
and they stand up for they're.
I mean, Dave Roberts, I liked him in that position, right? Yeah. Like he's blown a lot of calls for the Dodgers.
Yes.
So and he's still there. So
yeah,
right. And we both we agreed. Aaron Boone needed to get to here. Unless he's the reason they lose, he's not going to get fired.
And I don't think he will be.
And I don't think he's going to get fired.
No,
they could get swept. They're not going to get fired.
You had Jazz Chisholm.
You took him to the 10 innings. Like it's not like they scored 20 freaking runs in the first inning.
Right.
Yankees did a little bit of everything last night. They were stealing bases. They were hitting the ball. They were pitching. They did everything you could to win. They just couldn't get that last couple outs to seal it. And you could say, well, this and that. Dodgers may have wanted it more. These are both equal heavyweights right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the World Series for a reason.
Exactly.
So. And before we switch off any baseball, I did want to bring this up. I think it's called the sports equinox. I forgot to look up the actual term. Monday, there will be hockey. There will be basketball. There will be baseball. And there will be NFL. It's one of those rare things because it don't all come around until pretty much at this time because football's done. Next time baseball starts
back up.
Not preseason, but spring training.
Right.
They're done when the spring training starts too, but
they keep
football's done.
Keep adding games of the regular season. Keep adding more to the playoffs.
You're gonna have 20 games in the NFL season, 20 weeks. That's half the year.
And then you're gonna go to St. Patrick's Day before they wrap up.
Exactly. So I just want to mention that Monday we do have a sports equinox, right? One day. And you might only see it one more because who knows if the World Series is going to be back by Thursday.
True.
Josh says, Cash cost us the World Series when he filled Snell.
Yep. Yeah, 2020.
Oh, Snell.
Yeah,
Snell was pitching with a no-hitter.
In
2020. He was pitching pretty good against the Dodgers in 2020.
He's talking about the Padres, right?
No, the Tampa Bay Rays in 2020.
Is that when Snell played for him?
That's
when Snell played for him?
Yeah.
Because I know he played for the Padres at one point. Because, we're risking our life, bro. I have no loss for Snell because he's risking his life pitching during COVID. That's what he said. We're out there risking our lives. I got that from the great Ben Maller, too, on sports because he's a Dodger, so he hates any Padre that ever played for the Padres. But it's true. You're risking your life. You're playing a pitcher. You're literally the only person around pitching during COVID with no fans and no one around you. You're 6 feet apart from everybody. You're not risking no life.
That was another thing. Sports, that was another equinox, as you were saying, because NBA was wrapping up their season. Hockey wrapped up their season. Baseball wrapped up their season. We literally just had football at one point in 2020 going into 21. That was weird.
And I want to get back to that 2020. So that's when everyone says about the Dodgers, right? That's the last time they won.
Yeah.
They said it's the easiest World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I say it's the hardest. So most sports, you can say, basketball, we say it's easy. It's the Mickey Mouse Club because there's no traveling, there's no this. They got 4 months of rest and then went to the playoffs pretty much, which we all think that the Lakers benefited because everyone was 100% healthy. And we agreed that I at least thought that Lakers team was 100% healthy, the best team.
I think they were, yeah.
So that's why they won.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, though, we've talked about this. You go on streaks, you go on this. You got 60 games. You can't be bad for a month.
Right.
No,
yeah, exactly.
You're not in the playoffs if you're bad for a month. So to me, that was the hardest World Series because you had to get hot, stay hot, and be good. And that's what the Dodgers are.
They had neutral site games. They weren't in front of their fans. They played that in Arlington, Texas.
And it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter if
Dodgers played Rays down there.
And it doesn't matter if it's neutral site, right? To me, it's all about the streakiness, right? To get on a run, to get on this, to get hot, to get going. And you can't have in a regular baseball season, you can have bad, you can have slumps. You can't have that when you 60 games.
No,
No.
because
And that just proved that the Dodgers proved that, hey, to start off the season, we're great. We have a slump, and then we end great.
Right.
Mhm.
And
All right.
special shout outs. Google's behind the camera tonight, so he's with us. Are we gonna segue into the NHL?
Yeah, we can segue into the NHL.
All right.
What do we,
The one thing we should bring up is there's one team that has won. Well, not one, but one team has gotten points in every game.
Yep.
7 games they've gotten points. They tied or not twice, but they did a overtime loss twice, so they got a point.
7-0-2.
7-0-2. So if you're 7-0-2, you got 14, 50, 16 points out of a possible 18.
Yep.
And then there's a team that has not won a game yet.
Oh,
Says the low guy.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jess.
5-2 is the winless team. Do we know? We know who they are. We talked about it. I want to know if the fans know who they are.
If Jay is watching,
Yeah,
is
I'm
that
sure
who
he knows.
Jessica is?
I'm guessing. I don't know. I can't.
Starlow,
Yep.
Yes. So if Jay wants to guess, or any hockey fans want to guess, put in their win list and
Lightning.
Lightning. Is that what he said? Oh,
Google made it,
No, it's
Lightning
not the
is not one of those teams.
No,
So there's one team that hasn't won a game,
we've established Tampa Bay is not one of those teams.
and we also,
We know the Rangers aren't, and the Blackhawks aren't. Those are your hints.
yeah, the Rangers. Unfortunately, my Rangers the other day, Florida.
7 games, 7 points, 7 wins.
We're letting the fans pick. Google.
Sorry, my bad.
Google's googling.
Google's googling.
We did guess the Jets. I mean, it took like 3 or 4 guesses.
Yeah.
And then I think 2 guesses to guess is San Jose
Yep.
Yes.
was the winless team.
Well, he done gave it away.
Yeah, he gave the win, so I'm just gonna give the other one. So San Jose hasn't won a game.
Yeah.
I said Toronto just because screw Toronto.
He mentioned Nashville, which was a good
He
pick.
mentioned
they
because we
were
talked about
0-5.
last week they weren't
Yeah.
that great, but the Rangers played Florida. They lost. Shesterkin wants all this money, but allowed I think 3-1 is what the final score was. You can't allow 3 goals.
Oh no, I'm just laughing because of the contract we talked about last.
He
week.
wants to be the greatest. You got it. If you lose 1-0, okay, cool. You allowed 1 goal, that's fine. You allowed 3 goals, that's not fine if you want to be one of the greatest. Now it does happen. It does happen.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
coming off the
but
loss
then
last
also
year.
Utah Hockey Club. How many goals did he allow before he got pulled? Because I think they lost 6-5
Yeah.
in overtime. So they still got points, but if you allowed 4 goals, that's 7 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
You can't be considered one of the greatest if you're doing this.
And
But that's the first game that, by the way, the Rangers didn't get a point.
So they're still winning. They're just
So they would have been up there. They just didn't get there.
So if he
Right.
continues to struggle, do you think that this deal it's lingering in the back of his head then?
It might.
Probably.
It might. But here's the thing: if he struggles, and you're still one of the greatest teams and stuff like that, it also proves why quarterbacks get paid high, pitchers get paid high, but goalies don't get paid as high because
Right.
the Rangers can score. They got dangerous lines.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, they got
Mike
3 or
can-
4 lines that are dangerous in scoring.
Right.
The third line, what they said was like Cooley. I'm like, those aren't in the names. Like when you think of the Rangers, most of the names of the Rangers is Fox, Panarin,
Yep.
Zibanejad, Truba, Trocheck, like those Capo. Well, that's just me. Capo, because is a great name.
Yeah, I was
you
just
know,
saying, did you just name off-
KAKKO versus KAPPO. Literally, you just changed the 2 letters of his name from
You
K's
just
to P's.
name off a bunch of Yugoslavian names right there?
Yeah, pretty much Sweden and stuff like that. But yeah, like those are big names. Shesterkin, of course,
Right.
the goalie. But you're getting people from like Will Cooley, people don't know. Zach Jones has scored. You're getting Rempe. These people are making names and can
Right.
score.
Well, I want to get back to giving up the goals for a second because if he's by himself in no man's land with no defensive help,
He's got defensive help, but that's with hockey, right?
Yeah.
Your guy could be trying to block the shot, but also blocking your view, and then it hits
Yeah.
the post.
yep.
So
That's
that's another thing where hockey's like 20% skill and 80% luck of where the puck
Right.
hits.
And that like that to me, like if it's 2-on-none, you got two offensive player danger. You all right? 2 offensive players going on the goalie.
Trying
He's
to detail
more
your
often than
mic.
not. More often than not.
Give that hawk to her.
Spit on that thing, huh? Right, but I'm saying if he has 2 players going on him, he's all by himself. They can make that maneuver and they're going to get that goal. I know what you're
two
talking
guys
about.
going on him, huh?
Yeah, you want that
Oh.
rubber in that net, don't you, there, big boy? So Well, what I'm saying is like without me actually watching the game, I can't necessarily say it's all on him. You got to have
Right.
defensive
And
help.
it's not all on Shesterkin.
No.
See, there's a couple goals
If
that
you're
did
too
not
defensive.
go in that he didn't react to until he heard it hit the post, but it hit out. So they would have gone in.
Yeah.
But again, he couldn't see the
Right.
puck because you got your guy, another
Right.
team's guy. So you got your vision.
Part
blocked.
of it also
That's why I could never be a goalie because you're
Ken,
going to score on me.
because
Right.
he also needs help from his two defensive men back there.
Right.
He can't do it all.
Right. Did you?
Says 2 guys, 1 puck.
Nice.
puck.
I like it.
By the
I
way,
love
I'm gonna ask you a question.
I'm gonna go ask you a
It's
question.
a hockey question.
How about one guy, one mason jar?
So we're talking about defensemen.
Oh, man.
Can you name a defenseman from the Rangers that went to Wisconsin? He actually went to the Rangers.
Was it Brian Leach?
No, I mean playing right now.
Oh, you didn't say that.
No idea. I can barely name
Oh,
a few.
no.
Keandre Miller, one of the few black hockey players, went to Wisconsin.
So if you didn't get it at the football team, why do you go hockey? I was kidding. That's a racist joke. I'm sorry.
We're gonna
Because he probably grew up north of where where
Right.
it's the huh instead of
We're getting
he
canceled
went
by-
ice fishing as a kid. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
why.
Jason also said Jets suck in the NFL and the NHL.
Well, obviously not in the NHL if they
See, my
if they've
thing
gotten a
is,
point in every single
I
game.
concur with the
With-
NFL, but maybe not the
Blackhawks
NHL.
are currently 2-5-2.
Okay.
I smell a turnaround for the Jets. Maybe in a couple of years, but not now.
Which one? Ah,
The NFL Jets.
Oh.
And from what I look at the schedule, it's not bad. We're scoring goals. They're not shutting us out. It's just that they scored more goals.
It's just our goalie can't stop the puck.
No,
Maybe Igor should go there. Go to
no,
Chicago.
because we lost 3 games in a row: 4-2, 6-3, 3-2.
Who again?
Quick Taylor wants to talk about the Ducks.
Quentin Taylor.
Quick Taylor.
Oh, I know who
The-
that is though.
The Anaheim Ducks
He or she
He
talk about the Ducks.
or the
QT.
Oregon Ducks? You don't
Hey,
know.
good old dude from North Carolina out there in Greensboro, keeping us safe and security in airports.
Thank you.
To talk about the Ducks.
The Anaheim Ducks,
Yeah,
or
I
do you,
mean, they
or
weren't
does he
bad.
want the Disney Ducks?
Well, the Oregon Ducks. But you guys are talking hockey, so I'm assuming.
It's Anaheim.
I think he
See,
wants
I like
Anaheim.
what they did with the new uniforms. They went back to the original logo.
Let's talk about the product on the field, not how they look, huh?
I'm just saying. This is what
You can have a hot ass girl walking down the street, but if it's loose down there, you ain't gonna be doing that crap.
Whoa.
No, it's not.
So
a
the Anaheim
kid-
Ducks, I do like the
Alright.
fact that they did went back to like the Disney Mighty
Yeah.
Duck logo.
Yes.
The
Oh,
TV.
two-
First
two
of all, does
strikes
anyone
already.
remember? Does
They
anyone
kept the current? They
does-
kept the current colors.
does anyone remember the cartoon animated show The
Yeah.
Ducks?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I remember. I watched it.
Where they
I thought
turned
that
into-
was better than the movie. I'm gonna say.
Okay. So currently there are 3-2-1.
Okay, so they lost 2 games.
And
So they
one-
got 6-7 points out of
7
a
points.
possible
rebuilding
3,
mode.
9,
Rebuilding mode is what I seen over there.
12 out of possible 12. They got 7 points,
Paul Korea,
That's not too
greatest-
bad.
Greatest Anaheim Duck ever.
and
maybe-
they're not. They
maybe
weren't
Teemu
terrible.
Selanne.
They weren't too terrible last year.
No.
Best goalie they ever had was Goldberg.
Yep,
From the
yep,
movie.
you know, from the movie. From the movie.
Well, they actually had John Sebastian
I'm a
Jaguar, but
goalie, not a skater.
don't ever do that to me again.
That guy. Did you see a picture of that guy? By the way, like
He's healthy now.
he is now, but at one point, all
Ooh.
messed up and everything.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it was
no.
ridiculous.
All messed up. Did you mean to say that?
Yeah,
Man,
all messed
all
up.
messed. He was on meth and
Yeah.
everything. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
all messed up.
So,
I'm all messed up. Oh, not all shook up,
Not
but
to
all
talk
messed
about
up.
Oregon, and we just spent all this time talking about the Anaheim Ducks.
so
He meant Oregon Ducks.
I looked up Connor Bedard's stats.
Okay.
Oh, so we're just done about.
Yeah, we're just sorry about your Ducks.
The Ducks,
back,
man,
Back
I
to
mean,
Blackhawks.
What else you want to talk about? They're
Right now-
3-2-1. They're in a good position.
They're in a good position right now. Yes, I do.
Well,
agree.
everybody's in a good
I
position.
do agree.
At some
Last
point.
year they were coming
Not
up
if
right.
you're the San Jose Sharks.
Some of the games I saw, they're playing right now. They're playing the Rangers and it's 0-0 in the first after the first period.
Sharks?
Never
The-
came
no,
back
the
and said
Ducks.
if he's
Oh, the
talking about
Ducks.
what
The Ducks are
team.
playing the Rangers right now, so Quentin can go have a nice day.
Oh,
We fight right now, Quentin.
Not so fast, midget.
Not so fast, midget.
Eh,
Okay.
fuck it.
He's actually about my height, so I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's my horror movie guy right there. Quentin is also big in wrestling and stuff. So like
That's
that's the
cool.
dude that came and watched wrestling with me, Super Bowls and stuff. So that's who
Nice.
Quentin is. I'm guessing that's who he is. It says Quentin
Secu-
Taylor, but I think it's Quentin Taylor.
Quick to security guard.
Yeah, he was one of my employees for Allied Universal.
I mean,
Nice.
depending how
when
they
I needed something done, I called him up and he took the spot. Except
Nice.
on New Year's Eve.
depending how they do, I think they might have a decent fight in the playoffs.
I think they could make a rush to the playoffs.
Definitely a rebuilding.
See, I mean, it's early in the
for 'em,
season. I
but-
mean, the Blackhawks should come and make the playoff.
Yeah,
The dang San Jose Sharks won't, but they can come back and make the playoffs.
they can, but
We've
they
seen
won't.
it before. With was it the Blues one year?
Yeah, they were the last place in the
And
West.
they came up, made the playoffs, and then made the Stanley Cup.
and
And they
beat
won the
Boston.
Stanley Cup.
And
They did win that year, didn't they?
2019.
But that's the one that they and who else? Baseball, same thing. Someone was
Yeah.
like not in it, made a run and came up.
Yeah, you just never know.
I mean,
thing
Packers when they
happened in
won the
football,
Super Bowl
too.
with Rodgers, they were a 6 seed.
Yep.
They came in, they beat the Steelers.
Yep.
Mhm.
It happens.
Oh yeah, it does.
And we'll talk about NFL later, but did you see like if the playoffs ended now, like every member of the NFC North would be in the playoffs?
Yep.
You're guaranteed an NFC Super Bowl champion if both the wild cards won were the NFC North, you'd have NFC North, NFC divisional round, and then NFC championship would be NFC North, and then someone in the NFC North would make it.
Right.
Maybe. Right.
NFC North.
AFC North.
AFC
It sounded like AFC North when I said it. Quick update: scoreless in the World Series.
7-3 Wisconsin's losing to Penn State.
LSU's up 10-0 on A&M. No, they just
So
started.
Penn
it.
State, Wisconsin, second quarter. That's good though. I mean,
Yeah.
if Wisconsin can at least play defense and they lose 21-3, I wouldn't be too upset because it could be way worse. Oh, it's Penn State. Yeah, like I said, as long as the defense is playing good, I can get behind it. But that's Wisconsin football, defense and running. And Luke Fickell, by the way, I know we're gonna talk about college later, but Luke Fickell, the last few games, has figured out that's Wisconsin football.
Mhm.
He's drafting, he's recruiting and stuff for his scheme, but he needs to run the scheme that's been in Wisconsin the last couple of years because that's
Right.
who was recruited for Wisconsin.
Right.
Is running. And that's what he's doing.
Okay.
So
we
you
done
want
with-
to talk about NBA now?
Yeah. Are we
Yeah.
done with hockey? We got anybody asking?
So NBA has
Okay.
started.
Yep.
The Bucks, I haven't really checked, but I know they won their first game. Dominated. I think they lost to Chicago.
Everybody's about 1 or 2 games in right now.
Yeah, and
So
I think the Bucks are 1-1. I think they lost to Chicago. Or the last
it's
game they
the
lost.
Chicago Bulls.
Bulls are going to be a shocking team, I think. I don't think
Shocking.
Lonzo Ball
Bucks are
came.
currently 1-1.
Yeah, because they lost to Chicago, I think.
Yep.
Chicago got Lonzo Ball back. He's playing and everything. I saw he
First
he
time
made
in,
it.
what, 2 years, I think?
Yeah,
hmm
shockingly.
Well, he said he had chronic knee pain, like he couldn't.
Derrick Rose
hmm
and
Definitely.
Lonzo, but you see Lonzo's playing better now that his dad has stepped out of the spotlight.
Oh yeah.
Like
Lamar,
he's letting himself, so like he's not in the spotlight himself because he went to Chicago because of failed LA. His LeVar Ball stopped talking about him and everything like that. Same with LaGello, the other
Lagello, yeah, I like that.
the
name.
other
LaMelo.
the other
LaMelo.
ball, not the second, but the youngest kid or whatever. Bronny. Oh, here's my thoughts on Bronny. They brought him into the game for 3 minutes just to say a father and son has played basketball together. Anthony Edwards said it best. You don't need a shower. You only played 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And now he's a two-way player.
Yep. He's
Which,
going to be
which
back and
proves
forth.
that he's not that great. And they're trying to sell tickets and
Oh,
push
yeah.
the issue father and son on the court at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like almost like comparing to the Griffeys. I'm like both Griffeys could actually play.
Both Griffies were good.
Exactly.
And I don't think Ronnie's going to be bad. I saw a meme the other way, by the way. It says when you realize that LeBron and Bronny are going to retire at the same time.
Oh.
damn.
That was hilarious, though.
His
Funny as
reaction
hell.
was funny. Oh,
'Cause I was like-
goddamn.
Well, at first I got me thinking, like, well, LeBron's got like 2 years. I'm like, oh, that's because
Oh,
Bronny's not great. Got it.
yeah. You can retire at the same time.
It's more of a dig at Bronny.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's what I think about Bronny. I mean, I don't think he's great. He did better in the preseason than he did
Yeah.
the summer league. But expect it. Your dad could train with you now. You could train with other stars. Like it's expected you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
You put me in the NBA, I'm gonna get better than I am now. I'm not gonna be good, but I'm gonna be better than I am now
Right.
because you're playing
Yeah.
against better people.
right.
Telling you, we said it earlier. I can get you about 5 points coming off the bench because after 6 minutes, I'm huffing and puffing.
I'll
I'm
get you
done.
one. Okay, give me a foul. I can at least make a free throw.
I'm like Shaq in basketball. Don't make me shoot free throws.
See, if you put me in the NBA, that's my goal, right? Just run in and hopefully I get fouled, right?
Right.
But no, in the NBA, it's early season. I think a surprising pick could be the Bulls. Lonzo did pretty okay. Like they're trading people away, stars, but they're getting decent people in return to try to keep because they got rid of Zach LaVine, I think, or they still might get rid of him.
Right.
They got key players, so don't sleep on them. Another one that has did good recently. Joe Henry was there. The Pistons. Did you like when I was watching that video? The Pistons were up. It was like 114, 113 or something like that.
Are they
The
going to
Pistons
tie
were
with the
up
Lions
on
for
the
wins again?
Pacers? The Pacers were a playoff team last year.
Oh yeah, they went to the Eastern Conference Final.
So the Pistons were actually up.
Jason says, look out for the Magic.
yeah,
Yeah.
they got a young team. They're good.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean there's gonna be teams that shock us. They might not make the
Pelicans
playoffs,
might
but shock
people.
us like the Pistons, the Magic.
Pelicans.
You got the Kings who are gonna make a splash in the playoffs probably.
I think the biggest highlight that I've seen was the Knicks.
Pelicans because Zion.
Well, the Knicks shut out Tyrese Halliburton last night. He had no points at the Garden last night.
Yeah, and the Knicks, but then they just got clobbered, I think, the first game
By Boston.
But again, that's the
That's
champions.
Boston.
Yeah.
That's they're
Right?
champions for a reason.
That was
That's
just
the
the one
first-
thing that stood
That's
out
the
to me.
first game with the Knicks with the new team in the
Yep.
regular season.
Oh yeah.
So it's not, oh my God, the Knicks made a bad move. No, it's the first game in the new season. You gotta get
Well,
chemistry.
Yeah,
And you're in the preseason, you're not they're playing, but they're not playing hard. It's the
No.
preseason. No one wants to tear the ACL in the preseason.
No.
I don't blame them.
But yeah, like you said
No.
with the Pelicans, Zion Williamson,
Pretty
right?
much.
Yeah, they don't play D anyway.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson, right?
Hopefully
As
he'll
long
play
as
the
he
full
can
season.
keep staying healthy, they could surprise people because he's a good player.
Right.
I think I'm
He hasn't
saying
been the
this
same since Nike blew his shoe.
Yeah, but also since he's been in the NBA, I don't think he's played a full season without getting
No,
injured at some point.
I really wrote him off as the next Greg Oden
Yeah.
from
Could be.
Portland, who
Mhm.
played nothing, was supposed to be a dominant player, and then just couldn't stop knee
Getting hurt.
injuries.
Yep.
He was supposed to be the next big thing, like
And he
the
was
Brock
good
Lesnar,
coming up.
right? He was supposed to be the LeBron, like great. He would, and it was supposed to be a
Yeah.
great big man, and just like
He skipped like that.
he skipped leg day.
Oh, nah. Chicken leg.
You don't need legs.
You don't need legs.
Who's need legs?
But yeah, I mean it's a young season.
Legs get in the way anyway.
We got like everyone's got 80 games left, so it's a young season.
Oh yeah.
right.
And what's funny is the NHL and the NBA both have like 82 games, and they pretty much finish around the same time.
Yep. And this is a long season, like you're saying. Like some of these teams are waiting for some stars to get back, get the chemistry together. So this is, I think it's Boston and everybody else right now.
In the East, and
In
then
the
the
East,
West is like
the
Dallas
West
and
and
everybody
everybody
else.
And Klay Thompson was phenomenal against San Antonio the other night.
Right. I know I joked on him the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, 0 out for 9 for 20. But again, it's also preseason.
Right.
He's getting the bugs worked out.
I think he set the record for most threes in a game for the Mavericks in his first game.
Who's that?
Klay
Klay
Thompson.
Thompson. I think he did.
So
No, and we all thought it was a great pickup.
Yeah.
It's great. He's not the star that he
No,
used
no.
to be, but he's gonna help out Luka. He's gonna help out Kyrie Irving, and you got those three on the perimeter.
when he's not a diva.
He's not a diva. No, he knows his place. He's
knows
never
his
been the
place.
number one
I mean,
guy.
when
So
Kyrie Irving's not a diva.
right, Kyrie now knows his place though. He knows
think-
he's number 2. Clay knows he's number 3.
It's got
And
a lot
it-
to do with the coach
In
and Luka.
Golden State, Clay was number 2 or 3 when Draymond was at the top of his game. Draymond could be number 2.
I would say this about Kyrie since he's joined Dallas. He's got a head coach that won't put up with this shit. Won't put up with this crap. Luka ain't gonna put up with it. Mark Cuban's not gonna put
Well,
up with
Mark Cuban's not really the owner anymore. He's just the face guy.
it. But
He's
I'm
the
just saying,
minority now owner.
You got a lot of people who be like,
Oh,
"Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he's-
you're getting the hell out of here."
No,
Oh, yeah.
they're not
So,
going to put up with
no.
it. And plus, when you moved around as much as Kyrie has, I think he eventually learned he's the problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right? It's me. I'm the problem, as Taylor Swift used to say.
me, sorry.
So, but
I
yeah,
wish
think
one
he-
NFL player can get that clue.
Dude.
Aaron Rodgers?
That and Stephon Diggs.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Stephon Diggs might be the problem too.
No,
I thought you
man,
meant,
you went
but
there.
no, but Kyrie learned
Just said.
last season that this is not my team.
Yeah.
Because the other places he went to, he was, it could be my team. It could even before LeBron,
Right.
came, right? But like going to the Knicks or Celtics, it could be my team. Going to the Nets, a lot of egos on that team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But now he comes here, he realizes it's not my team, it's Luka's team, right?
Yep.
Where am I gonna go next if they don't want me here? That might be another thing.
Portland.
Am I gonna go? Am I gonna go to Lakers with LeBron and take a huge pay cut?
He wouldn't be going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is probably his last stop. When you
Yeah.
go on that many teams, you're the problem,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're on the decline. You don't got many options.
No.
You
Right.
might get to go to LA because of your connection with LeBron, but you just might make that team even worse because now your salary is cutting more bench players. Like I looked at LeBron's bench players, the Lakers bench players, nobody.
Oh,
I
no.
never heard of a name. You could go to other NBA teams and you could go, okay, I could have heard that name. I could have heard that name. I ain't even heard nobody's name on the Lakers
So Quick wants to know why Kyrie went to the Mavericks.
because he had nowhere else to go. He's still a decent player.
Mhm.
They needed a key person to help out Luka. And Kyrie's been to the championships before. He can have a winning
So
formula.
this was around the time. I'll elaborate on that. This was around the time where Brooklyn was dumping everybody.
because it
Durant-
wasn't working
It
with
wasn't
all those
working.
egos.
Durant went to Phoenix. Luka got Kyrie. It pretty much cost them the playoffs because they were right in prime position to make the playoffs because they didn't have that chemistry.
And Harden
They
went.
missed.
And Harden went to.
Harden went. No, I don't know where. Well, he went to LA eventually, but no, Philadelphia.
Yeah, he went to Philly, and
Now
then
he's a
eventually
Clipper.
Simmons.
He's a Clipper now.
Yeah, he's with America's team, the Clippers,
Dallas needed a number two.
Yeah.
A two guard.
and
Yep.
and Kyrie's good.
Kyrie was good number two.
He's still good.
but they couldn't get on the same page that late that season. They ended up missing the playoffs, but they were on the same page last year. Got to the finals.
Oh yeah.
And you know what?
And I'm
The-
excited to see what Klay
and
Thompson.
I
Mavericks
think
does.
I think Clay adding to if you.
Clay ain't gonna put up with it either.
But the thing is, you got now Clay, you got Luka, and you got a point Kyrie. You have a great right there,
Yeah.
a great three right there, to where they can, I think, win it all because
Yeah.
of that. Because you got the Clay who could score. Okay, well you can't double team him because you can kick it out to Kyrie, you can kick it out to Luka. So you can't double team these people
no.
and leave one of them wide open.
Right.
It's worse. Even though Clay was on a falling Golden State team, Golden State didn't have the weapons
Right.
that Dallas has. Doesn't Dallas also have Poole? No, that was
No.
Golden State. My bad. He was
Golden
working
State.
with Golden State.
Yeah.
But like just with Klay
I said
Thompson,
that as I was thinking Golden
Klay
State.
Thompson had to put up with Draymond Green, and
He,
you know
Yeah.
how
he ain't gonna play with
he ain't gonna put up with Kyrie.
No.
He survived 4 championships with Draymond. What do you think he's gonna do to Kyrie?
Exactly.
I think
Draymond
Dallas
kicking
is
people in the
win
nuts.
within now or next year mode. You don't win now or next year, you're gonna have to rebuild around Luka because you're gonna lose.
may not be able to
Kyrie, and
keep
you're gonna
Luka,
probably
though.
lose Klay Thompson. in the
I
next
read
couple
somewhere
years.
they may not be able to keep Luka. It's either now or it ain't gonna happen.
Like I said,
with
this year,
Luka.
next year is your final 2 years. Is this
Yep.
Luka's last year?
He's got 2 years left on his
So
deal.
this year, and next year, the last 2
Uh-huh.
years you have
Yeah.
because Kyrie, like we talked about, decline. He's going to be done probably in 2 years.
Yep.
Klay Thompson's not going to be the same in 2 years, whether he's still playing or not.
Mm-hmm.
So this is now or never,
Yeah.
and that's why I think that's why they went out and got Klay because this is now or never.
Yep.
Right. And hopefully, rooting for him. I mean, Bucks. May
I
make
think
it.
they'll get. You said Bucks.
Bucks may make it, but I doubt it with Doc Rivers.
You're
Look,
not wrong.
Look,
You mentioned it last week.
at least
Doc Rivers.
at least they got Giannis to get us there. But how long is Giannis going to last in Milwaukee?
You never
He's
know.
loyal to Milwaukee, but he won the championship in Milwaukee.
Right.
Now he won his championship. He could go anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He's got his legacy, unlike certain people like Durant. We were talking about it earlier. We'll bring it back up here probably with our big board. Durant's legacy. What is his legacy versus like a Giannis? Giannis did it basically with him because you have Chris Middleton. He doesn't show up in playoff games.
No.
Not at all. You had Drew Holiday, great defense. But who's taken the shots from Giannis? Giannis dominated. Again, when we talk about our big board here shortly, team's not going to be on it
And one of the
because
things,
they played against a team that got lucky with injuries all throughout the playoffs to get to the finals.
see, this is where I really appreciated Robin Lopez in that series. He got the rebounds. He did the work.
You mean
for
Brooke?
Giannis. Brooke Lopez. Yeah, Robin's the other. Was it
His
brother?
brother.
Right, but Brooke Lopez was. He's
still playing. He still plays
playing?
decent good.
Yeah.
And that's why I think with Giannis and Brooke Lopez is a great down low, but you don't have the up top
No,
this year.
Right.
no.
You had it with Drew Holiday because but he also had great defense. You had it with Chris Middleton. And I think that's why they won because they got rid of Bledsoe, who was just awful on defense
Oh yeah.
and couldn't shoot, just like Chris Middleton couldn't shoot.
Drew Bledsoe? No, I'm just kidding.
Drew Bledsoe. It might as well be. Drew
Right,
Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe.
Probably played just as good.
Maybe.
But yeah, so like, yes, Giannis and them have a chance, but unfortunately, I don't think they've done enough, and they're not gonna do enough. And Giannis is gonna leave, just like we're talking about. Can't keep
Right.
Luka and stuff.
Yeah.
What if they can keep Luka? And Giannis went down. I know at one point I think Dallas was trying to get Giannis when he thought about going somewhere else before he re-signed. Hey, let's put Luka and Giannis together. You put Luka and Giannis, that's my pick to win the championship every year.
State.
Huh?
For Giannis, like heavy rumors were like
Dallas and Golden State.
Right. And I think
Take him
if
in New York. Knicks.
I think he would have gone
And the
to
Spurs.
I think if when we're talking when I was thinking about it, I thought Giannis would go to Dallas before Golden State because he didn't win one. You go to Dallas, yes, Luka was there. Luka can't do it by himself. You go to Dallas, you still get the credit and get a good legacy because you helped out Luka.
Right.
You still get the credit. You go to Golden State, you're not getting the credit because they've done it without you. Just like Durant, they've done it without you, Durant. They didn't need you to come back. They wanted you because they wanted to win more.
Yeah.
And then you go to Brooklyn, couldn't win there. Now you're in Phoenix, you're not winning there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting worse in Phoenix.
Then was he part of that team that played
No, he wasn't part of the team that went to the
finals
NBA
against?
No.
I think
That was
the year before.
after.
He got traded the year after, but they have consistently gotten worse
Since they lost.
Since they lost, they get knocked out in like the.
Well, you got the point guard, Chris Paul, taking money. You got Kevin Durant taking money, and you got Booker taking money. It's the same thing with the Lakers.
Well, Chris Paul's
you're putting all your money in 2 or 3 players.
Chris Paul's in San Antonio, dude.
Well, now
I
he is.
thought he was with, no, he went to San Antonio. Yeah,
But I'm saying he when he was with there is the
yeah.
point guard. But the thing is, you're
Point
taking
guard.
all the money for 2 or 3 players. Where's your bench?
Yep.
Right.
And that's what the problem with the Lakers is. You got all your money in Anthony Davis and LeBron. Where's your bench?
Trade for Bronny James. No, sorry.
Who's going to trade for Bronny James?
Whoever.
Are the Bucks going to win against the Nets tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nets by 20.
20 rebounds, maybe.
9.5-point underdog.
Nets by 20.
No, if you're going to bet, Quinn, I'd bet the Bucks.
Yeah.
Nets by 20. Watch them win by 30.
Bucks? I was like, wait. That's still good.
I'm going to go opposite of what they said because if we all pick the same game, we end up losing. So I'm going to say Nets by 20.
Well, we're screwed this week then.
Yeah, we are. So our big board this week is the best NBA championship teams. We literally came up with this on the fly about an hour ago.
We all came.
Yes,
we
yes,
all
we
came
did.
to agreement. One of the best is the unbeatables. The
Oh, yeah.
unbeatables when they were 72-10 and won the championship.
Yep.
Because that was the best record to win the championship. Because remember, Golden State did not win when they had the best record, and I think they only lost 9 or 8 games. They didn't win. The Bulls did. And that's why they were the unbeatables.
Yep.
We also talked about the 2011 Dallas Mavericks.
Yep, because they were the underdog going up against Bosh, Wade, and James in that series. And they basically, I'm not throwing shade to them, veteran
Dirk.
Jason Kidd, Jason Terry was part of that team, JJ Barea, Rick Carlisle out-coached Eric Spoelstra.
Yes.
And they kicked their ass. Even Dwayne Wade said it. They kicked their ass.
I think another good team that we kind of didn't mention, but if we're talking about like underdogs and didn't expect to win, it's a dynasty. It's the Warriors recently, right?
Yeah.
One that no one saw coming. They just came out of nowhere and won the championship.
Against Boston.
What
Yeah, not last year, but the year before.
2022.
about the first championship when they won against Cleveland?
Right, but again, that's when they became a dynasty. That was before Durant. That was before the dynasty and
very
stuff. But
first
this
one
was
that they
after
won, like in
Durant. This is when
2015.
Draymond's on the decline. Steph is a little bit on the decline because he's getting older.
He was his first year back from all those injuries.
Klay Thompson's on the decline. You got Rook. They won, and
Yeah.
they mentioned this might be the last ring they won with Steve Kerr and everybody else.
Yep.
So that's that. I think that's a good one. We mentioned Lakers with Kobe, Shaq, Paul Gasol. You had Derek Fisher. You had a great team there.
Ron Artest, Meta
Ron-
World Peace.
You
Meta
can't-
World Peace. Meta World Peace.
You can't argue the Heat when they have Bosh.
How about Pistons with Ben
2004?
Wallace?
2004.
That's what Jason said. 04 Pistons.
Oh,
best-
look at that! Me and Jason on the same page.
The best defense because they were the best defense in the
think
shot
Jay-
clock era.
I think I'm playing Jason in fantasy football too.
Ooh.
He needs
Says,
he needs to bench all his players.
The Atlanta Hawks?
yes.
Trey, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of
Hell no.
they're kind of always in the play-in, but Trey Young can't do it
Hell no.
himself.
He cannot do it all by himself.
How is that
I mean,
gonna-
they getting pieces around
Does
him.
he think?
I mean,
does he think Trey Young is
Trade for Bronny and you win it. There you go. Sorry.
Sure.
Bronny? We don't mean Bronny Jr. We're called LeBron Bronny
Yeah,
now.
we're calling LeBron. There was a rumor that they were going to get Bronny Jr. and they were going to try to lure LeBron James to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Play with Trey
people
Young.
were thinking that.
Yeah.
Hey, if I draft
That was
Bronny,
a thing.
I'll get LeBron.
That was a thing. And the other, you're thinking of Bryce
Steve Young.
Oh,
Oh,
You thinking of Bryce Young?
Bryce Young.
I
Yeah.
forgot Bryce Young.
Trey Young played
No
for,
relations.
I think
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yes.
Trying to get this drink in here. Y'all keep missing.
But no, yeah, 04 Pistons. Like I said, you had Ron Artest and not Ron Artest. We were talking about Ron Artest. I
Rasheed
thought.
Wallace, Ben
Rasheed
Wallace,
Wallace and Ben
Rip
Wallace.
Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Chauncey
Yes,
Billups.
I could back the Mavericks.
Oh yeah,
Celtics by 50.
not the Hawks.
No.
So another good
I
team.
picked Dallas in last week's
Ano-
episode.
beat Boston in 6.
Another good team. I'm gonna throw out the names of this team. You tell me they weren't good. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, that's my guys. San Antonio Spurs. Only because
that-
we knocked
that-
you guys out on the way of getting there. Sorry.
Tim Duncan.
You knocked us
I
out a
mean,
couple times too.
That was a great.
Oh yeah, they
They
were.
were good for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And even into their late 30s.
That's like
End of the second, by the way.
Yeah.
Just because he mentioned it, Quentin. 0-0 Anaheim Rangers. End of the second.
That's a good game.
Yeah, that is.
We'll be right
0-0.
back. We're going to take about an hour break from the
we're
podcast.
gonna watch the last period here.
We're going to watch the last period here.
But no,
We'll be back later.
see, you could go back through history and pick out great teams, right? Oh, he didn't listen when we said they won.
No,
by
no,
3.
you didn't.
You're shutting the window. We do think there's plenty of teams you could pick from.
Right.
Clearly, plenty of teams.
Well, you got the Rockets from 94, 95 with Hakeem Olajuwon too. I would
The
say
Bad
that-
Boys Pistons.
Bad Boys Pistons.
Yes.
Those
You
Celtics
can-
teams, Lakers teams.
But
Yes,
I mean, to
with
me,
Bird,
something special is just
Bird,
about the
Magic.
Bulls.
Yep.
Right?
Michael.
Those teams.
But something special always about the Bulls, and it's not because, well, one, they played defense back then, right?
Yeah.
Versus
Right.
now, right? But you had Jordan, you had Pippen, you had Longley, you had
Rodman.
Kerr, you had Harper, you had
Dennis
Tony
Rodman.
Washington,
Kukoc.
you had what's his name, Rodman, you
I
had
said Dennis
Tony
Rodman
Kukoc.
twice.
How the hell did you not mention Dennis Rodman in the first couple of
No,
names?
maybe that's what. But you had Harper, right? You had B.J. Armstrong.
Yep.
When I was
Forrest
2
Grant was in that early
Forrest
90s team too. Sorry, go ahead.
my mom and my dad had both said when I was 2 years old, I would run down the stairs and I could name the starting lineup at 2 years old of the Chicago Bulls all the way
Yep.
down to and coached by Phil Jackson. I would say where they're from and everything. That's how you know a
And
team
like
is
say
great is
with-
when you know everybody on that
Dennis
team.
Rodman was part of 2 dynasties.
And we're talking
Always-
about how great Michael Jordan is, right? Greatest of all time, this and this. But those teams were great. They played team ball. Jordan got his points, but it wouldn't be good if you didn't have Pippen. What team?
Miami Heat.
Just tell them not. It's the Baltimore basketball. Not
The Baltimore basketball.
I really
I
want
don't
to
know
know.
who it is.
Don't worry.
Oh, man.
What is it? Is it the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James?
The Cleveland
that is a Baltimore.
Cavaliers.
With Kevin they had Kevin Love and
Kyrie.
Kyrie. But didn't they win because like Curry got hurt and stuff like that?
No.
Or was that the year they thought they were gonna win and LeBron or someone got hurt on that team? I
They
remember
were down 3-1.
Oh yeah, and they
They
came
came
back.
back.
And,
there was one of those years that they were,
Draymond Green kicked him in the nut.
there's
Funniest part of that postseason ever.
Yeah, but LeBron fucking you pissed him off.
hey, if you want to talk about hitting in the, you know what? Didn't
Sorry, Jake.
one Didn't Tim Duncan do that when he was in college at Wake Forest? That's why they called them the Dirty Deacons.
It's a home
Shout out
run.
to a guy from high school named Corey
Freddie Freeman?
Champlin. Shohei Ohtani.
Max Muncy. Mookie Betts. Oh, Dave.
Edmund.
Yeah,
No one knows who the hell that is.
No, he's a shortstop, I think.
See, we just named
What did I say?
we just named like 8 people that can hit home runs, and it wasn't one of them. I'm just saying.
That's probably why they're in the World Series, right?
That's probably why they're going to win the World Series. Again, the Dodgers can score runs. But yeah, to me, the basketball team that I resonate with, again, we grew up with them, was the Bulls, but that's because you could name everybody. I mean, I just said Washington. Who names the 4th string freaking center?
No, nobody. And along with those Bulls teams, I was able to name people from the Utah Jazz because they always
Stockton,
Malone, Indiana Pacers. That made me watch
Payton's with the Supersonics.
Peyton with the Super. Sean Kemp was bad butt back then. Sorry, and then
the Knicks, you had Patrick Ewing. I mean, they played
Indiana
great
Pacers.
defensive players too.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing's a good player. Don't have him coach.
Georgetown.
Wow, throwing shade at Patrick Ewing. What did he do?
Do you
Coach.
not see how he? Yeah.
Oh wait, what didn't he do?
Yeah.
Coach.
Exactly. You not see how he coached
And did it-
Georgetown in the ground?
Speaking of Georgetown,
True.
I think NCAA basketball just started up too.
Yep, we were gonna
Like
mention
those
the top 25, and we never did.
Let's bring it up right now because I think they're still doing the early season tournaments, right?
Well, yeah, the preseason stuff. Kansas is number 1. Jayhawks.
They just lost to Arkansas.
Ugh.
Arkansas. For basketball too.
For basketball, yeah.
Football though, they're not bad either. They're one of those things that they always make the
It's like
tournament.
Arkansas and South Carolina from the SEC is always one of those sleeper basketball teams. Well, you had to.
Oh,
mention that,
go
didn't you?
Duke.
No, SMU
Duke.
Mustangs.
That's the only reason I'm choosing cheering for them is because you have them.
That's right.
So let's go to the top 25 then. Right now we have
Side note: we're gonna bring up the top 25 of college basketball.
We have Kansas number 1.
yeah,
Go
good,
from
'cause mine
25 to
thinks-
1, or are we going from 1
froze.
to 25?
Because you're on the internet. Mine froze probably. Go.
I'm on data.
Oh.
Okay. So number 1's Kansas. Number 2 is Alabama. Number 3 is UConn. 4 is Houston. Then Iowa State, Gonzaga, Duke, Baylor, North Carolina, Arizona, rounding out the top 10. Then Auburn, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Purdue, Creighton, Arkansas, Indiana, Marquette, Texas, Cincinnati, Florida, UCLA, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Rutgers.
How
So,
do you?
Arkansas is 16th and they beat Kansas in
How do
in
you?
our preseason.
You gotta. What do you got to do to get number 1 for UConn? They've won the last 2 tournaments.
Yeah, right. 2 championships in a row, and they're
And
like,
they're
"Yeah,
number
you're
3?
3.
Yeah.
We're gonna put Alabama ahead of you." Which, by the way, how do you feel about Alabama being now a basketball school and not a football school?
Oh,
That's a hot take right
it's- Yeah.
It is.
Right.
First of all, when you were reading the top 25, actually with the football, I was like, "Oh, Navy's 24." And I looked, I'm like, "Wait, Oregon's 1." I was like, "Oh wait, I'm in the wrong sport."
Wrong sport.
We're at the wrong one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a. I can agree with that because
I just want to shout out for others receiving votes. High Point University, right down the road from where I lived in Greensboro, North Carolina, is getting 1 vote.
nice.
Their coach must have a vote because who's
You got-
voting for High Point University,
These are the
a
other teams
rich
that-
white kid school, to be number 1 or be in the
Here's-
top 25?
Here's all the other schools that receiving other votes.
Good votes. Don't just do all the votes. There's like a million of them.
No, so the most votes out of them was
Illinois.
92 is Illinois.
And then St. John's with 91.
Then Xavier was 73.
And then after that goes 59 Texas Tech. So after that's
Yeah,
not
just
even
kinda
close.
Trickles down.
But yeah, you got Illinois and St. John's, right? But those are basketball
Oh, yeah, there's
teams too. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a great
All
season.
right, my team was on there. 19 votes. Michigan.
We
All
got
right.
5.
Ohio State got
Wisconsin?
29.
They got 5. I didn't look that far down. Okay, I saw High Point. That just caught my eye because I was like, High Point University is on this list. How?
Right?
No, Wisconsin
AT
got
should
5.
be on that list before, not because it's the HBCU, but they do good in basketball, better
Right.
than football. But that's just where I lived for 4.5 years, so I kind of got a little. When I Ubered, I refused to go to High Point though. They were messes in cars.
Like, what kind of messes?
So anyway, let's. No, they just left like alcohol containers and stuff in the car. So let's do the plug real quick.
Yep.
All right. So we are sponsored by B&L Creative Designs. They make woodworking needs. They got cutting boards, lanterns that have interval chases. They got bracelets. I'm wearing the beautiful New York Rangers colors. They made our shirts as well. So we do have this merchandise available. I did talk to the B of the B&L, and they can do other colors. Jason, I know, wanted a blue double XL. He put on the Facebook page. So you can go to our Facebook to order the shirts, or you can go to B&L Creative Designs Facebook or BL Creative Design Shop on Etsy. Reach out to them. Reach out to us on Facebook.
Right.
Yep.
We can get you colors. We can get you long sleeve shirts. But we got podcast merch. They can do any other designs too for shirts.
Yeah.
But hey, we got podcast shirts. We're gonna come out with a Mr. Google shirt eventually. I think it's just gonna be like a silhouette or something because he's behind the camera, right? So you don't want to see his face. But if you watched a couple episodes ago, you did see Mr. Google's face. He is the B in the B&L. But yeah, they do rosaries. I mean, just great. It's holiday season, right?
Yep.
So they can do ornaments, they can do cutting boards, like I said, they can do any kind of like signage or something like that. They are military owned. So they do, if you go to their webpage or email them, go to the Facebook, mention 3 Morons podcast, they will get you about a 10%, 15% discount.
Yep.
All right.
So there's that long plug today, but I just thought of more stuff to say about them.
Yeah. You actually nailed it this time. It only took 16 days.
I know, it only took 16 episodes.
Well,
at first it wasn't the Essies, and then
No.
the Facebook lines, and it's not or anything like that. It's different.
Not bringing down their name. We try to do it in the promo. And we only have a minute. The
We
plug
try
of that is only, it takes 25 seconds.
We try in the promo to nail it down because we try to keep it in the shorts.
Yes.
So people can see it in their reels and stuff like that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So because if you do actual video, if you do it over a minute, it goes to a video and they have to go into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into their feed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Type in right now what your size is and what color of the shirt you want. The best is probably gonna be gray, white, maybe black, because I'm wearing a black shirt, so it will fade into it, and so won't the word. So black won't be good.
Mr. Bobby Boucher right there.
Orange won't be good.
She's over here, movies, and I like
But-
that too.
But gray's probably the best color we figured. But Jay wanted a blue. I think a blue would work because none of us are really wearing blue. So I think a blue would work as well. So, but like any dark color that's not black, because the wording is black right now.
Right.
But yeah, put your size
Yes,
in,
on
and
the
then
show
in the next week or so, we're gonna order some more shirts. Probably. We try to stick to a couple colors, maybe just blue, white, and gray right now.
Yeah, I sold a few at work this week. And
Yeah, this guy's over here got the selling going down.
trying to make us money, man.
I'm the personality. What are you?
I'm just here, man.
You just here. I like it. All
I
right,
just
so-
I just work here. I just show up.
I just show up.
Just a pretty
Oh
face.
yeah.
How about
Speaking of pretty
Hey, I
face,
did
this
get
pretty
us
face is
one
gonna be dressed up as an Amish for Halloween.
Yep.
Okay. So I did get us one subscriber. That was last week Saturday. I'm away with my stuff at the gas station. Someone saw my shirt.
I got a few subscribers for us, but anyway, we won't talk about that.
Okay, no one wants to hear your escapades. Which
So-
version you after?
So NFL going on, right? And man, what an NFL season it's been. So I'm gonna walk back my retraction right now about Jets being a playoff contender.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
mention the fact that the Vikings intentionally lost to the Rams so they don't trade Cooper Kupp to the Chiefs.
Right,
See-
right. I saw that on Facebook
See,
too.
my thing is
The
that-
fact that you lose to the Rams so they don't trade their players. To the
But we can
Chiefs.
bring up the Jets first. I mean,
See,
that's
my
fine.
biggest thing is that my biggest prize for me is with my team because I didn't expect them to play that well so far.
Yeah,
so far.
with Bo Nix and being the starter in no time, and he wasn't really up there on everyone's board when he got drafted.
No.
He has played surprisingly
Right.
well, and it's not like
the team.
and it's
is,
not
too.
that the team's bad, right? It's just you left with Russell Wilson, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then you get Bo Nix, you're like, okay, it's gonna be some rough patches, and he's played okay
I didn't think Russell Wilson played that badly last year for the Broncos.
last year, but the
Yeah.
year before that,
Yeah,
rough.
was that him?
Right.
more bathrooms than touchdowns.
But was that him trying to get Nathaniel Hackett out? Because they said after the first game he lost that locker room. Remember when he tried to go?
I don't think he could ever been a coach. I think he's a good offensive coordinator.
Right.
That game in Seattle, his first game, he lost the locker room by kicking the field goal. When analytics, I know we don't say anything about analytics, you have a better chance of getting the first down on that fourth down than you do actually making that long field goal.
Right.
But we'll see. Anyway, well,
we got it.
Jason wants to know if the Bucks are done and should they have left Godwin in the game in that boat.
I don't think they're done.
Did Mike Evans get hurt too?
He's had a hamstring. He's out 4 weeks.
4 weeks, and Godwin got hurt.
Yeah, he's out for the
dislocated his
season.
ankle.
Snapped his ankle.
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they're done.
They can make
It's
that
gonna
trade.
it's gonna be rough without Evans and Godwin.
Yes.
We'll see how Baker does,
Mhm.
but I don't think they're done because that division is still winnable. It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much you and the Falcons.
The division
Yeah.
is winnable because you really can't go back to the wild card because we talked about NFC North is all up there right now. You can't fall on a wild card spot. You got to go for the division right now.
And
Right.
to me, it's still between them and the Falcons because the
Yes.
Saints with Carr being out and stuff like that.
Yes. And
It's
Panthers being the Panthers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sell the team, man. Sell the team.
Dumpster fire.
So yeah, I don't think the Bucks are done. But I want to talk about the Jets and how I said did Devontae make him a playoff contending team? And he does, but they need to do a lot more on defense.
Oh, yeah.
That defense god awful, right? The offensive line bad. I mean, what I saw was Wilson could be open. I saw Brees Hall open. Dude
But does
gets
Rodgers
the ball,
have
runs
time?
20 minutes, but Rodgers doesn't have the time. But
No.
this brings us back to what we talked back in there about this is why when you're out for a whole season, still haven't gelled with your team, you need to go to OTAs.
Yes.
You need to play in the preseason. That's what Brady did. Brady may not have played in the preseason, but when he went to Tampa Bay older, he played in he went to OTAs. He practiced. He did the best. And when I talk about the greatest of all time, I'm not talking about championships. I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about what you do off the field, what you do when it's not game time. And Tom Brady's the greatest of all time because he wants to win. He takes the pay cuts. He shows up at OTAs. He shows his team, let's work. I mean, damn dude walked into the wrong house during COVID, okay? Because he thought it was his teammate's house or something.
Yeah. How would that feel if you get Tom Brady?
Right.
That'd be funny.
But no,
You're not supposed to be here.
is
but
this
hey,
Rodgers'
we'll
time
let
to
you
give
in.
up, or do they need to do better? Because are they going to blame Rodgers? Or they're going to blame the offensive line. We already know the
Yankee
answer.
scored.
you don't say it like that. We have an update. Yankees scored.
We have an
1-1.
update. The Yankees have now tied the game 1-1.
We'll just let it do my way, okay?
You don't do anything. You don't sell merch. You don't promote.
You don't
We're
even do
gonna tell
tech
you-
anymore.
We'll let you
Hey,
celebrate.
I
It's your
help
team.
run the tech, okay? I help
Help
run the back.
tech.
Hey, you know what he's got over us though? Hair. Anyway,
That's true.
Exactly. I got a full head of hair. What do you guys got?
Moving
Baldies?
on. Moving on.
so Rodgers is not going to get blamed for this game.
No.
Rodgers never will get blamed because they paid the money. It's going to be the offensive line getting the blame.
Yeah.
The coach already got the blame. He gone.
Yeah.
And then the GM.
Right. So I go back to what I keep
Score
saying.
up.
Another
Update.
update if anyone cares real quick. LSU 17, A&M 7.
Yeah, Jason Harbaugh said Rodgers is the problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
They gotta
And
get-
we saw this in Green Bay.
Yep.
Mhm.
When you're this last year in Green Bay, he overshot all these receivers. And he goes, they're young. They ran the wrong route. Did they? Because Love's not
No.
overshooting them like that.
Mm-mm.
They didn't. I'm sorry. Yes, they could run the wrong route, but 90% of the time it's the wrong route. And if you're overshooting up your receivers,
Open receiver.
say out of 100 times, 85 times. You really think they're running the wrong route 85 times? No, you're overshooting them.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't want to take the blame. That's why they let you go. That's why it was time for you to go. It was done. They did the Bill Belichick thing. We used as much of you we could. You're gone right at the right time.
Right.
And unfortunately, he wants to be Tom Brady to play for 45. He's not going to.
No.
This is his last contract, in my opinion.
Should be. And I always say it. They can't run the football. That's what Green Bay was doing in his MVP seasons, running the football.
Because they don't have the offensive line.
Do they?
You have the two running backs. You have good running backs.
Right.
Braylon Allen has looked pretty good
Oh, yeah.
for being 20 years old. The youngest player in the NFL right now with the oldest player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
He
He's
did
the-
great in Wisconsin.
He's the
Brees Hall's
only
great.
NFL player born in 2004.
But we can't have a 40-year-old quarterback throwing 40 times a game expected 300 yards, which you have
That's
to
what happened in Indy.
Yeah.
Because with Matt Ryan. Because originally when they brought in Matt Ryan, they're like, okay, we have a good O-line. We will run the ball.
Wasn't Philip that old too? Almost.
Yeah.
Yes. But then stuff happened, and all of a sudden their O-line was garbage that year.
I think that's when Jonathan Taylor got hurt too. One of those years,
and the run game went down. So Matt Ryan had to be over 30, over 35, throwing it 50 times a game.
But Rodgers is the problem.
Yep.
He doesn't like to take the blame. He likes to pull the blame.
Oh yeah,
he's not going to last. He has 7 interceptions. We looked this up. You think Dak Prescott's bad? He has a better QBR and a better rating than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
QBR is like what 20th?
Yeah, he's
and his rating is like 25th. Like he's not even the top. Justin Fields has been doing better. Like we looked at these people who have done better.
Right.
Jordan Love's leading in interceptions 8 with Pat Mahomes.
But
Jordan's 7. Or Rodgers is 7. Jordan, you said, has like 15 touchdowns. Rodgers has like
he's the Brett Favre reincarnate.
Right? So Rodgers is done. He's on his final legs. He does not have MVP season. He might have MVP games, but he doesn't have MVP
he hasn't thrown
seasons.
for over 300 yards since 2021. Go look it up. It's that long.
And where was he in 2022? Green Bay. His last season in Green Bay. And well, you can't count 2023. So technically,
4 plays.
Technically, it's only been 2 seasons with it.
Right.
4 snaps and out.
5.
But they're saying his games played. But
his ankle was the 5th.
Yeah. With games played though, like his games played, he set an NFL. His games played. He set an NFL record for not throwing a 300-yard passing game in that long of a time.
I mean, he's thrown as much interceptions as that 12-year span of throwing nothing but 8 or under.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you cheering about over there? What we're about to see. Okay, we got an update, and we'll give everybody an update on some of
Wisconsin. Touchdown, Wisconsin, 10-7 on Penn State. Look, I said this again, right? And they mentioned this on College Game Day. It's close. You know why? It's Madison at night. There's something about magic at Madison at night. Third quarter? Oh, wow. Is it close?
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes.
Okay. But Wisconsin's playing Penn State tough.
Yep.
Because Madison at night, to me, plus Penn State versus Ohio State next week. How much of that goes into we play in Ohio State? We got to kind of get ready for them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I'll take it as a Badger fan, even if you play them close. You still took it to the number 3 team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, every year we do play Penn State tough, though.
But we'll talk about overlooking teams later. Because I gotta eat my crow or something, crow's foot or whatever you call it. Yeah, I gotta eat crow on
So
my teams.
Do we bring this up? Minnesota loses 2 games in a row since we've been on because they lost Sunday and then
as we said, they're one of the best teams.
Yeah,
but Sam Darnold didn't even throw a pick, so it's not like he's costing them.
No.
So if anyone's saying, "Oh, Sam Darnold, here we go again," don't say Sam Darnold.
I'm not making the Vikings excuses. Of all people, I wouldn't give them excuses. But Jared Goff's playing lights out right now. His completion percentage is astronomical. He should be the leading runner for MVP.
No, last time I saw Lamar.
Right. Is Lamar, Josh Allen? I think Goff's like further down the list.
Why Lamar when you got Derrick Henry? Don't know.
I don't know either. I mentioned that.
Derrick Henry scored like 20 points a damn game.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
what
I'm saying is, on a team of the Ravens, you take Lamar, you still have Derrick Henry, and you put a decent quarterback in there, you're still winning.
Right.
Derrick Henry,
maybe not the way you are winning.
Right.
Derrick Henry is the only running back to run for over 2,000 yards in the NFL, college, and high school.
But you can't give that to MVP because that's not the season.
Nope.
And they don't care about the high school or college.
But I would give it to Josh Allen. He hasn't thrown a pick all year.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's what I
would.
would.
He's like 12-0.
Yeah.
I think 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Watch me say that he throws 3 tomorrow against Seattle.
He got with Cooper, scored a touchdown right away. I mean,
yeah,
that Buffalo team, Cooper proved he was not the problem. He's not dead. Cleveland killed him, but he's not dead.
No, and he literally
they benched Deshaun.
Yep.
No, they said what's his name starting. I forgot they didn't bench Deshaun. He got carted off the field. He's done.
Tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
They snapped in half.
Never mind. The way it said was they're going to start Jameis. It made it look like Deshaun got benched, and then as I'm saying, I'm like, wait, he didn't get benched. He got carted off the field.
He got carted off the field. So Deshaun Watson obviously out for the season.
Yeah, but then
And
how you-
I gotta get back to the Vikings. Sorry. So they lose to the Lions. They came back. It was back and forth like a basketball match. And then you're playing a Rams team that's fully loaded with Puka and Cooper Kupp. So are we excusing
And
these
Kyron
losses?
Williams playing.
So are we going to excuse these 2 losses for the Vikings? Should they have played better?
I mean,
they only lost by 10 the other night and 2. So
I'm not excusing them, right?
No.
They lost to a better team than the Lions.
Yeah.
I thought beginning of the season Lions was better than the
Right.
Vikings, right?
Mhm.
I'm not excusing the Rams. Again, they were going to play Cooper Kupp on Sunday, and then they decided not to because hey, he's coming back from injury. Let's save him for a couple more days.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden you're practicing a couple days or whatever for Cooper Kupp, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's activated. Puka Nacua is activated IR.
Mhm.
Oh, he's playing. Wait, what? The day
Yeah.
of the game? Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they said Puka's playing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pop him in my lineup, see what happens.
Right. And then you got Kyron Williams, and we knew the beginning of the season how dangerous this team was with the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you got Puka and Cooper, and the fact that Puka didn't drop down when Cooper came back up because he's fully healthy and everything, they're playing together great.
Right.
Yep.
And that's why the Rams are in the position we could trade for a great, but why trade?
Mhm.
They
wouldn't.
won, so why trade now? If they would have lost that game, yes, let's fire sale Cooper Kupp. Let's get rid of Matt Stafford. Let's rebuild because
Right.
Puka's going to be the cheaper option than Cooper Kupp eventually.
Right.
Matt Stafford, clearly, let's get rid of him because we're building for the future. Now, hey, we still got a chance to make the playoffs.
And I'm sorry, the face mask call wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game.
No, it wouldn't.
Huh?
That face mask call wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game.
No, I don't. You're down 10.
Yeah.
I'm
At that point, they
your
were down
own
8.
1 or
The
2
face
yard
mask would
line.
cost
The
10
face,
points.
the face,
Oh yeah.
the
Because
face
of the
mask
6
would have brought you to the 17 with a minute and a half left. Like, can that offense, who has been struggling that entire game, go that distance
No.
and score?
No.
No. So, yes, they missed a call, but did it really make or break the game? No.
No.
No, I think Puka and Cooper Kupp coming back, you can't excuse them.
No.
No.
They're playing. They're
They're
going
playing.
to make a run to the playoffs because the 49ers injured.
And
Arizona.
Purdy can't do it all.
Right.
Cardinals aren't that great.
And Seattle
they're
is
4-3.
they're
so they have a
good.
chance.
They're good, but at the same time, like, can they keep this up all season?
right.
Like
And-
we've seen teams do this and then drop Vikings before when they were 5-0, what ended up being 8-8 at the end of the season.
Yep.
I mean, now they're won 16 games. So okay, now you're 8-9 or
You're
9-8,
Yeah.
I like
But
7-10. That sounds a lot better. I'm just kidding.
but 5-0 and you go 8-8, right?
Yeah.
That means you won 3 and lost 8. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
I mean,
horrible.
Well, look at Mike Tomlin. He didn't make the playoffs last year, but he has 15 consecutive winning seasons.
He did make the playoffs last year. They
Yeah.
lost to Buffalo in the first round.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
But yeah, he's had winning seasons and not made the playoffs. I get your point. Though.
Yeah, yeah.
And
8-8 seasons and stuff. Yeah.
And he's looking like a genius right now, starting Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about that, right?
He's been coaching.
We're
for Steelers
over
for-
here dogging on Russell Wilson, and he played at first, and then boom,
Boom.
lights out.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people said he hasn't played all year. He got hurt with the calf injury. He didn't play in the preseason. This was his first game action.
So now Justin Fields saying I'm not the starter. Yeah, it looked like a good thing to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I
we'll
mean, there's also like humble parts on Justin Fields saying, I didn't play good enough to be the starter.
but
But I think he knows it's his franchise moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
the thing I think we based the Russell Wilson thing on is how he did in Denver.
Yeah. I mean, in the last season with Seattle wasn't great. Oh boy!
All right, so we got an update. As you can see from Jake over here, the Dodgers have scored 2 runs. It is now 3-1 in the.
I think
in
it's
the
the fourth.
Bottom of the third.
I love the. I think I don't know. Let me see.
Well, he didn't look that. He just looked at the score real quick
Yeah,
for us.
that's fine.
Which is, I mean, that's fine.
What?
We don't have enough room over here.
There's going
Eventually,
to be a new moron next week, isn't there?
eventually, we should have like a TV somewhere with the scores. That way, we can see if
Just
it's the bottom
flash
of
it
the
like
ninth.
Sunday Night Football where they have all the scores.
Yeah, in the background.
Yes. In the background. Because I'm sorry, I don't listen to Chris Collins or Mike Treacle when the scores are going
Oh,
on.
when they're up, no, you look behind them.
I'm
see.
looking like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that my team won
Like,
today.
I watched that team. Let me make sure they did win, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Halftime for Wisconsin, Penn State, Wisconsin 10, Penn
That's a
State
good
7.
Good position to be.
And Wisconsin's not they're 5-2.
Not
Yep.
a bad team. No,
No.
They
They're
had their
one
moments.
win from a bowl game again. They're 5-2, but they played 2 tough teams in a row.
Yep. in
Right.
USC and
and
Alabama.
we lost our quarterback to a season-ending injury.
Well, that was early, but yeah, and this quarterback's not a starter.
No,
But again, you got to adapt, and that's what Luke Fickle's doing. Run and defense.
Mm-hmm.
Still think we should have kept old boy, but you know,
yeah, right. Jim Leonard,
yeah.
Who's currently the linebackers coach in Denver?
right. Back
So
to the
yeah, back to the NFL,
back
right
to
there.
the NFL, back, bring it back. And are the Chiefs ever going to lose?
Yes,
Yes.
Who?
they're gonna lose.
Who they lose to?
Who?
Knowing how the NFL's been,
I don't know, I
to an
wanna-
unsurprising win or unsurprising.
They got
team
the
that no one
Raiders
expected.
tomorrow.
Update. Dodgers scored again, 4-1.
Oh, geez.
Fucking damn it!
Don't blame God. It's not his fault.
Good. Hey, can we tone down on the swearing of God?
So their next
please?
2 games, they got the Raiders in Las Vegas tomorrow. Then they host Tampa Bay on Monday night.
You're
So
talking about
the Chiefs.
and D Hop.
Didn't
Remember,
one
they got
year
D-Hop
that
now.
Okay. Refresh
Hopkins.
my memory. Didn't one year that the Chiefs were undefeated, they played the Raiders and freaking lost?
Yeah, but they probably won the Super Bowl that year, so who cares?
Yeah.
Every score in that game is their home run.
Wow.
Every score.
So
5
no, like
runs,
double or anything.
5 runs.
One was a 2-run, but 3 solos and a 2-run home run.
Dang.
Nice.
Who got it for the Yankees? Who wants to take a guess?
Juan
Was this-
Soto.
Soto.
We were all gonna say Soto, weren't we?
I was gonna say.
Already
I was
looked
gonna
at my
say
phone, who hit it?
Stanton.
It
I was gonna say Soto.
I was gonna say Stanton. Sorry. 1. Well, if he's only the one scoring, he's gonna be Juan Solo. That's gonna be. What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm looking at the score. Rangers scored 1-0.
Okay.
No, it looks like you're texting someone over there.
I was looking at the score. Rangers
Did
scored.
not look like it from my perspective.
Rangers scored 1-0. Lindgren got the goal.
It looked like you were
Anyway.
texting someone.
Uh-oh.
So
We did. Okay. So are the Chiefs gonna lose to the Raiders tomorrow, or the Bucks in 2 weeks?
How did we get him in trouble?
I'm not in trouble with anybody.
Bullshit.
The Chiefs are gonna lose to the Bucks. I think
With no receivers?
they got no defense, but
I mean,
How the Bucks don't have a defense? I mean, they gave up 41 to the Ravens. Well, that's not actually bad.
I don't know if they're gonna lose one of those 2 weeks. Here's why. I mean,
I'm only just gonna look the next 2 games. I'm not gonna look
right.
further.
We're not
than
gonna
this
look
because-
forward. DeAndre Hopkins. I gotta see how he plays first. I think they can beat the Raiders.
Oh,
No
yeah.
matter how DeAndre Hopkins plays.
I mean, you even think they could beat the Raiders? Come on now.
yeah, I do, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't.
So without with DeAndre Hopkins, the Raiders can't. It's gonna be hard to stop him without him.
You,
Fuck Freddie.
what's wrong with you now?
The one who hit the homer was Freddie Freeman.
Well, that's okay. It's not,
Former Atlanta Brave, right?
but it's
Freddie
not a
Freeman?
grand slam walk off yet, so it's okay.
No. Yeah.
So no, I think the Chiefs will lose
4
eventually.
games. Sweet. No, I was kidding.
But who do they lose to is the question, right? Who are they gonna lose to? That's the question. I don't.
And
It's gonna be hard. The only reason I said the Bucks is because eventually they're gonna stumble. I don't think it's gonna be the Raiders. I really
No.
don't think it's gonna be the Bucks. But if you gave me out of those 2 teams, I think the Bucks have a better chance.
yeah, I think the Bucks have a better chance too. Because I'm sorry, Kansas City has a better record in Las Vegas than the Raiders do, and that's their home.
And the Raiders, the only way they're gonna they don't have Devontae anymore, so Kansas City may not have a defense, but they can stop them, right?
Yeah.
Also, yeah, look at the
Kansas
Raiders
City's top
don't
5
have a
defense.
for sure starter. 'Cause
No,
they were
but
switching.
that's the thing with everyone saying they don't have a defense because they can't stop. Yeah, but they stop them when they need to.
Yeah.
See, the thing
They
with-
allow yards, but they don't allow points.
The thing with the Raiders is that they don't have a for sure starting quarterback. They're flip flopping between Mustache and O'Connell.
Minshew, yeah.
Says mustache.
Mustache.
Reminds me of Impractical Jokers. Hey, mustache. Don't call me
Oh.
mustache. Okay, mustache.
It so I don't see, I see
call
the
the porn
I,
stash.
please don't.
Jason thinks that the Chiefs are going to lose in a couple weeks to Buffalo.
No.
Oh, they play Buffalo? Yeah, they're gonna lose. That's their first loss.
I don't
Oh,
That's
know.
a loss. I think they lose to Buffalo.
Yeah, they'll lose to Buffalo in the regular season, but beat them in the postseason.
Who cares about again? You meet him in the postseason, we'll talk different.
Right.
Because then we're talking postseason Mahomes,
Postseason.
and he don't really
that's
lose.
what we were talking about last night. Was like he can throw 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Postseason, 10 touchdowns, zero picks,
interceptions,
and get another ring. That's how he does it.
And he runs for like
That's
20
usually how
more.
it works.
But yeah, so the Chiefs, we all agree, are probably still the favorites
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
the
You
Super
can
Bowl.
Argue Detroit
Yeah,
I want to see Chiefs Detroit. I think
On
those
the
will be the two
NFC
best
side, I
teams.
think the heavy.
I mean, I
favorite-
really would love to see Packers and Chiefs, but that's Packers. But
I
I
mean-
think Chiefs and Detroit's the best two teams.
Yes. I mean, the AFC favorite right now is the Chiefs. You got
Chiefs
the,
Cowboys.
You got the Bengals and the Bills and Lamar that can challenge them.
Yeah, if you play Madden 25.
That's fun.
Even then, man, it's like, nope.
Remember that trade?
Even then, Jerry Jones is like, nope.
Mr. Google's giving us a death stare.
Whoa!
Oh!
Can't afford it. I'm coming with you,
Can't
Carl.
afford it. Yeah, go.
Jake, I'm sleeping on your couch.
Are you paying me then?
I've just been
Okay.
I've just been pissing everybody off tonight.
Um,
Nets by 20 tomorrow against
Did
the
you
Bucks.
see?
Back
Did you
to
see
what I
that
was
Jerry
talking-
Jones did say though that he wasn't bringing Derrick Henry to Dallas because he didn't fit the scheme? Him or Mike McCarthy. How does Derrick Henry not fit the scheme? What, winning and rushing?
He's a single back. Everybody has that in their freaking playbook.
Brings it back.
Bring him to Green Bay. We can find a way to fit him in our
Right.
scheme.
And brings you back to like you got the Bengals and the Bills, and Lamar can challenge the Chiefs, but ultimately might be.
Can he beat him in the postseason?
Exactly.
The only one that has been is Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah.
Did they win
Joe
though?
Burrow was
But they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Kryptonite.
Joe
the
Burrow
play-
is the only one that can beat him. But then the next year he lost to them in the playoff in the AFC Championship.
Joe
game.
Burrow may be the only one that could beat him, period, and have a good record against them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, can the Bengals get out of their own way to even get to the
Yes.
playoffs?
So
Yeah.
on the NFC side, the heavy favorite right now is Detroit.
You know who I like though? You say Detroit. The way they've been playing lights out for great defense, the Green Bay's coming up
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
with that
You-
defense.
you
Who
got
would have thought at the
those-
beginning of the season we're going to be more worried about their offense than their defense?
Another surprise that are doing very well this season with a rookie quarterback is the Washington Commanders.
Yes, Jaden Daniels is actually. I think we looked it over like one of the top 3 for passing and stuff.
And one thing interesting that brought up that I was watching one of the games or watching highlights they brought up is that out of all the rookie quarterbacks in this year's draft, the veteran starting quarterback in college was Jaden Daniels. He started all 4 years.
Yeah.
Versus these other quarterbacks that started maybe 1 or 2 good years.
Well, Caleb had some
3 good years.
I
Yeah, but other ones 1 or 2. It's
Trubisky
average.
10 games.
right.
Yes.
Another team that would be a surprise coming out of the AFC, and I know we talked about them earlier. Gotta look out for the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
Defense. I don't
And
care
the
who's back
offense
there.
figured it out
See,
30,
them
38
Steelers has
points.
always had a great defense. It's just the
37,
offense.
wasn't it? 37?
against the Jets.
Yeah.
It's just their offense.
Who's supposed to have a great defense? The Jets.
I haven't seen it all year.
It's just the Steelers.
Sauce
offense,
Gardner, right?
The
About
Steelers
it.
offense since Big Ben retired has not been doing very well.
No, but they figured it out, and they don't have star receiver.
And they
They
got
have
Pickens.
Najee Harris was written off, right? Pickens is it. What else do you got? But these quarterbacks are doing it. Justin Fields was doing it. Now Russell Wilson's doing
And
it.
if I'm Justin Fields, you can take this 2 ways. You can be pissed off on the sidelines, or you can be picking Russell Wilson's brain right now.
And he's probably doing both.
Yeah.
Well, he's pissed
Right.
off he's not playing because he's playing well.
Right.
But he's picking Russell Wilson's brain. How can I get better?
Yeah.
Because Russell Wilson only got 2-3 more years left. Who
Right.
knows?
Right.
And he, like I said, he started off shaky, and maybe, like I said, he hadn't played all year with the calf. Then he comes in the second quarter, and it's just like, oh, where's this been? This was like a vintage 2013 Russell Wilson out there.
MVP.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see it. Sorry, it didn't work out for Denver, but I'm actually happy. I actually liked Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Shout
I
out
love
to the
watching-
way if the dude's watching Steven Counts, he's a big Steelers fan.
There you go.
Steven, a guy I
And then
went
we
to
have-
school with, if he's watching.
Do we want to bring up Tua playing tomorrow, or you want to see how he does?
Oh, mean that he said
Yeah.
said you should wear the Guardian cap, so he's wearing a Guardian baseball hat, the Cleveland Guardians.
I
We
want
should
to
see how he does.
I'm
We should
excited
see how
to
he does.
him play and see how he.
Rangers scored again with 11:18 left. Cooley, 2-0.
See,
Dude, if
I'm
Igor gives up 3 goals the rest of the game, that drink's going on.
I'm
If we
excited
lose
to
3-2,
see-
I'm out.
Tua and how he plays. Is he gonna play like he?
I think it's a
before
good. Go ahead.
play before he got his last concussion, or he gonna play more safely and concerned?
I think he's just gonna keep playing this way. He's been
I think he's
playing.
gonna play like he's been playing. You can't go to safety and concern if you're Tua because that's not how you play.
The only thing he
No.
needs to do is slide. That's all.
He needs to learn how to
run
slide
head
and
first
not
into someone's
exactly.
chest.
Don't push your head down when you're about to get tackled.
And it was DeMar Hamlin of all people.
I mean, I would be too.
Yeah, I would.
Oh yeah.
Concussion history, a tackle.
Yes, 3 concussions
tackle, and he could have
in the
friggin-
last year alone.
No.
He's gonna be an eggplant by the end of the year if he doesn't stop. Yeah, he's gonna be Joe Biden. You're right.
He's
No,
just gonna be a vegetable by the
He's
end of
gonna
the
be looking like this.
Sounds yummy.
He's gonna have stage 3 CTE.
It's Joe Biden.
Not much left of his brain.
No disrespect to the Cardinals, but this is probably the most perfect opponent he could play in his first game black.
Just remember, first of all, no disrespect for the Cardinals.
First game black, yes.
First game back. Now remember, Kyler Murray has not washed any game film because Call of Duty just came out this weekend.
That's why I picked the Dolphins tomorrow.
Call of Duty came out, so he had to go get his game hours in. And I'm not talking about football.
No. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring two.
Watch,
up.
this is if I swear if Kyler Murray starts dropping for the rest of the year,
You gotta get a Call of Duty. There you go.
that's all you gotta do. Have a Call of Duty at the beginning of the year, and maybe he'll do
Right.
better at the end of the year.
Probably.
Right.
So do we got anything else on
No.
the NFL, or we kind of beat that horse to the
We made each other laugh, cry, mad. Yeah, it was all about it. I don't know.
Now let's talk about Madden and cry at the same time for the college football. We're gonna start off with
We got to bring that up.
Navy having a family and Notre Dame not being very Catholic. They got away with murder on that one, 51-14.
Hence the name Fighting Irish, huh, Jake?
Yes.
So
exactly.
I'll eat crow on that one. Navy, excited for this game all season. I told people this is gonna be a great college game. I told people at work, and they lost for 51-14.
They got
Huh?
steamrolled.
It was a great Notre Dame. Yeah,
Steamrolled.
It just proved
Midshipmen.
maybe Navy's not ready for the playoffs.
Maybe.
I mean, Army still got to play Navy, and they might get beat worse only because Navy knows the playbook, or Notre Dame knows the playbook. They just played Navy. It's pretty much the
Right.
same playbook with less passing.
Yeah.
But they did allow Horvat to have like 12 carries for 135 yards and a touchdown. And 2 of his rushes were 62 and 40. That's 102 yards.
God dang.
Yeah, so he still played well, but the problem is there was pitching. I mean, the dude pitched to one below his kneecaps, pitched to below the running back's kneecaps. Now they're just a bad handoff that hit the deck. The one that kneecaps, Navy did recover one of them. But
Mhm.
and then another guy was running, dropped the ball as he got the pitch, was fumbling it, bobbling it, got hit, and then fumbled, and Notre Dame picked it up. Another one, he went for a pass, Notre Dame stripped it out of his hand in the end zone, got it laying down in it for a touchdown. So it's just 3 fumbles, and they had no fumbles coming into this game.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame's defense dominated.
Yep.
Navy's defense did good for a little bit. There's a couple times they stopped them, a couple times, and then the second half happened, and it got worse.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I swear I was trying to sleep, but every time I hear the TV score, I'm like, how much time was that? I'm like, only like 2 minutes passed. It was bad.
Yeah.
It got bad.
It got bad real quick. It's maybe it's like I remember you texted me. And I'm like, it's still not a bad loss.
It's not a bad loss, but I was telling you,
it's a bad loss, but
if they
it's only
play
one
like
loss.
that against Army, they're gonna lose to Army.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
See
can't
how
play
it
like
goes.
that. But going into at the point of the stat, which means I think it counted Navy's touchdown and Riley Leonard's 2 touchdowns for rushing. Navy, Blake Horvat, Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, and Jalen Milroe both have 11 rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks.
Nice.
And they're tied for second.
Yeah.
Number 1's 19. And that's the Army's quarterback.
Bryson Daly from Army.
Carson
Right.
Daly. Gotcha.
Carson
TRL.
Daly. I agree.
Bryson.
Yeah. I just said TRL. Total request.
But
now.
Bryson Daly, yeah. But Army hasn't played, I don't think, Memphis yet. They haven't played Navy. They
Right.
haven't
And
played
I-
Notre
and
Dame.
The thing is, I looked at Bryson Daly's stats. Like, is he throwing the ball? He's only thrown for 600 yards in like 7.
But that was Navy's thing, right? We don't throw, we run. Now they do a little bit of the
And
throwing. That's
he-
why he's only got 11 touchdowns
Right.
instead of 19.
And on the year, Bryson Daly has ran for almost 1,000 yards and 19 total touchdowns.
And did you say he's like second in the nation
He's currently 4th in the nation for
for rushing yards, and he's
Yeah.
a quarterback?
Yeah.
That means he's 4th, and there's 3 people higher, and they're all running backs.
Yeah, and the top one being Ashton Genty with 1,373 yards.
Don't care what you say. Navy had more rushing yards as a quarterback, had more rushing yards against a top tier defense than You get it against UNLV or Ashton.
Ashton Genty,
Yeah. And then the second one is an Iowa running back with 1,035
Caleb Johnson.
yards.
Caleb Johnson.
So you got over 200 yards separating first and second, which is really good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, boys, I told you this earlier. That guy just lost out on his Heisman. He didn't get 150 yards rushing because we all know it's a quarterback stat unless you do phenomenal as a running back. And because you didn't get 150 yards, you probably didn't get it.
He's on pace to break 2,000.
Yeah, but I just saw his 11-game pace versus Barry Sanders because Barry Sanders had 11 games. You got to go 11. You can't do the bowl game and the 12th game. That's 2 extra games. You can't use that stat. You got to use the stat that Barry Sanders had. He's not going to break his record. Will not break Barry Sanders' record because of this game.
Oof.
And he had 33 carries for 128 yards. That's not good. It's not great.
No.
It took they forced him the ball. That's going to cause him to get an injury too if you have 33 rushes.
Right.
But the thing is, he's under 10 now.
Well, then
in fact, he's under 5.
You might get that third game because you have the conference title game.
But yeah, he had under 5 yards a carry.
Right.
That's what's going to hurt him in the Heisman now.
Right.
And you're probably right.
Only because he's not a quarterback.
Right.
If it wasn't just a quarterback award, he'd still be up there. But because it's a quarterback award, Oregon's quarterback's probably going to win it unless he stumbles.
Dylan Gabriel, yeah.
But that's the only reason I say he's not going to win it is because it's a quarterback award.
Yeah.
Just like the MVP in the NFL is a quarterback award. Derrick Henry's like 12th. You think there's 10, 11, 12 quarterbacks higher than Derrick Henry?
Aaron
Derrick
Rodgers.
Henry Sterling has 800 yards.
Aaron Rodgers is higher than Derrick Henry. Yeah.
There should be that many.
The last
Derrick Henry is great.
It should be for everybody.
The last time a running back won the award was
To
when
me, whatever, right? The best, right? But the best pitcher, right? Again, they don't like to give it to losing teams' pitchers, but yet, like we were talking about a couple weeks ago, DeGrom. Hey, I have 20 losses and I threw 0 or 1 runs. Like you still have to give it to him because it's still one of the better performances. It's not his fault. The other team his team can't hit, or the bullpen gives it up.
Right.
So same with MVP. If you take this person away from the team and they lose, shouldn't that like if the person gets injured, right? And they lose every game when the person gets injured, shouldn't the person that get injured be MVP because he was the best person on the team?
So we're speaking
I
about
agree,
the MVP,
but,
and so I looked it up. Guess what year and who the person was the last non-quarterback to win the MVP in the NFL?
Adrian Peterson, 2012.
Yeah, it's been 11 years since a non-quarterback won the award.
Was it 2012? Yeah, because it was Peyton Manning won the comeback player of the year that year.
Yeah. Again, that's why it's a quarterback award.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So another big Vandy won or lost by 3, right?
To
Texas. So they did start making a comeback at the end. That was a pretty good game. Ohio State, Nebraska. Give it up for as much as I hate it. Give it up for the Cornhuskers over there, losing by like what 4?
21-17.
Yeah, so lost by 4.
And they were driving at the end of the game. He threw a pick.
Yeah. So the thing is,
just like his daddy, Pat Mahomes.
Oh. No, so Mahomes would have got that one.
Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
It was
Anaheim scored, by the way, 2-1.
14-3 halftime.
Anaheim scored.
Would you say 14-3 halftime?
Yeah, then they went on and scored 14 unanswered, and they had to get the last go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Indiana-Washington was a pretty good game.
Yep.
I think the Hoosiers are for real in football.
Oh,
yeah.
Really good.
Well, it's funny because they're mentioning this on College Game Day. They said, okay, they have an easy schedule. But you know what Kirk said? He said it best. It's Indiana. Who would have thought that Indiana would be 6-0? It's not easy for Indiana in football. No. There's no such thing as an easy schedule for Indiana in football.
No,
that's a basketball school. They're 6-0. They're now 7-0.
See,
they're undefeated. They are in prime to make the Big Ten championship and contend.
Yep. And possibly could get an at-large bid if they went out.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they easily could. I don't know the rest of their schedule. I'm not going to look.
Would it be some crap if the Indiana Hoosiers won the first ever 12.
If they
college
won the
football.
national championship,
Yeah.
look, we got to go to Indiana for that celebration because that's going to be the biggest celebration in any sports.
Yeah.
I don't care, NFL, NCAA, nothing. Any sports, that's going to be the biggest celebration.
Unlikely to happen, but it's possible. I will say that.
Although
See-
on college game day, though, they're in Indiana, right? And, Pat, that's his adopted state, because the Colts, he's like, who? So they did the kick, right? And the guy was up for $100,000. And Pat goes, I'll give you $100,000. And you're actually number 2 because we had a guy back there practicing and he tore his ACL. The guy went to kick and slipped and like his leg went backwards and everything. He goes, I'll give him $100,000 if you make this kick. Missed it. Okay, 150 for you, 150 the second chance for the other guy that missed it. I mean, wide left both times. I mean, same trajectory. Just He goes, Pat goes, this guy's awful. Get him out of here. But the fact that they actually went up with a backup because the dude like tore his ACL.
Oh.
But yeah, it was great. Kyle Schwarber was on there. Like they were on the field for the game because the game was right after college game day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Indiana needs some more college game days, man. They showed up.
Lee Corso as well.
Oh, he picked obviously Indiana
Yeah,
because he coached there.
See,
Yeah.
if I remember, the head
Not
coach,
so fast,
the
midget.
current head coach of Indiana was the former head coach of James Madison.
Yes.
James Madison was doing it down there in NCS
And they're still
too.
doing it with
Yep.
the new coach
Yep.
who was in like IUP or something,
Yeah.
Indiana University of Purdue or something like that. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
ICUP, yeah.
IPU.
What?
It's Indiana University something. But
Telling you, I'm gonna get replaced.
there really wasn't a lot of upsets today. There wasn't a lot of stuff going on.
Nope.
In college football this week, kind of everything kind of played its course.
Everything kind of played out the way we kind of thought. I mean, I think we probably should give a shout out to Nebraska. They showed up against Ohio State.
Here's another shout out. Oregon.
Oregon.
Look, Illinois had a family. They weren't ready.
True.
Right.
I was actually kind of happy about that game.
Me too.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking up. He coached at nobody's schools. The head
But-
coach of Indiana.
But again, you coach good at nobody's schools, you get your chance.
Well,
Head coach at Elon.
So I'm gonna bring this-
North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
bring
used to Uber out that way, and screw them too.
Oregon finally has a defense.
Oh yeah.
They should. I
No.
mean, I know they played Purdue and they played Illinois,
But-
they only gave up 9 points the last 2 games.
It was look. I watched that game. Man, Illinois doesn't have a defense. I mean, they were running on him. The quarterback. It was just as bad as that Navy Notre Dame game. Just
if
Illinois had a little bit better defense.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel keeps playing the way. He's gonna be the second Hawaiian player to win the Heisman.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
But how can you say Genty for the Heisman and Dylan Gabriel?
Who's the other Hawaiian?
Okay, you guys made the
Who's
point.
the other Hawaiian?
Huh?
Who's the other Hawaiian?
Marcus
Mariota.
Mariota.
What college did he play for?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Exactly. Imagine that. Two Oregon and 2 Hawaiians.
So he
Yeah.
went. So in Hawaii, I watched a little video about Dylan Gabriel's back information before he went to college. Is that he went to the same high school that a talented quarterback played at, then went to college, had an injury, but was still pretty good to go to college. Mackenzie Milton.
Was he the? Who's Mackenzie Milton? Oh, was that the UCF quarterback
That snapped his leg.
that snapped his leg?
He's like, oh, another talented quarterback because we don't know him because he barely played.
But he was talented enough to get.
What?
He was talented enough to get picked out of Hawaii, go to D college.
But did he get recruited to Oklahoma? Dylan Gabriel?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But then stuff happened, and he.
But then he
wanted to
realized I'm Hawaiian. I go to Oregon like everyone else.
Oregon.
See,
West Coast.
if you paid attention, like some of the schools that get most of the Hawaiian players is Oregon, Utah, Washington,
Because it's closer.
Arizona.
Because you know how expensive it is to like fly out of Hawaii places and stuff. Because I know people who wanted to be stationed in Hawaii in the Navy and everything. But the problem is it's just so expensive to fly home. Not only that, groceries because you have to
Drinking a
import.
hurricane?
I'm drinking stuff. You have to bring
Nasty.
you have
Import
to
it.
bring import stuff, so everything's more expensive except pineapple.
Oh, gee, what there did they? Everything's more expensive except pineapple.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, duh. We could be less expensive, but What is it? Here?
Yeah, it's a hurricane.
A hurricane.
All right, so
Speaking
now
of the hurricanes.
All right, let's
What's-
go to picks.
I wonder how Miami's doing, by the way. Oh, they're probably Florida.
Florida State 23-7.
Oh,
Nice.
did anyone think that was gonna happen? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone.
I'm surprised that Florida State doesn't win.
You want Florida State to beat Miami?
I want Florida State to go 0-14.
0-14. Even though they're not bowl eligible, they'll still have a bowl game, right? Like, when you have a family, we're going to award you the toilet bowl. You guys are going to play the UMass and lose.
All right, so now we got picks, and maybe Mr. Google can update us on some of these games right now. So 2 games still intact for Jake. We got LSU and LSU and A&M. So A&M's winning. So or LSU's winning. So you got that one going, and then you had the Utah game. I don't know who Utah was playing.
Houston, they're up 14-7, 12 minutes left in the fourth.
Who is?
Utah.
Utah's up 14-7. I said who they're playing. You said Houston. They're up 14-7. I'm like, what? Houston's up 14-7 or Utah?
Utah's up to 14-7, 12 minutes left to go.
And then you had Duke SMU.
Yep. I don't know what the score is on that one. Duke and SMU.
SMU's up 14-7.
Woohoo.
Wow, ironic, the same score in my game.
And you said SMU's up?
Yeah.
SMU's up 14-7.
So I took the biggest loss from my Navy. So right now where we are at picks is Jake set 27-22. Carl's 27-23. The only reason it's difference is because you still had 2 games left. He has 1. And I'm up and I have 29-22. I started off, I think this last couple of weeks pretty high above you guys, and now I'm back down to earth.
Oh,
Back down.
Because I started picking, with my heart instead of who I thought was going to win. Like Notre Dame, Navy, I picked with my head.
Well,
Yeah,
you want to
brought
go
you
with your
back down
favorite
to earth.
team sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
I get it. I had to eat humble pie in week 2 when Texas played Michigan, so it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all pretty much ate humble pie when Texas lost last week to Georgia.
I'm really glad we didn't pick the Alabama Vandy game because I would have went
I
down.
think we all would have ate humble pie on that
Alabama.
one.
We would've-
Yeah.
So next week we have the 49ers
No, it's tomorrow night.
tomorrow night. But the next picks, right?
Yeah, the next week.
week's
We're gonna do
picks.
the NFL first.
So 49ers and Cowboys is the Sunday night game.
49ers.
You're going 49ers. Cool.
Do I have to explain 49ers?
We're all
Do
going
we have to
49ers.
explain this.
And sorry to Mr. Google, but the only reason I'm picking the 49ers until the Cowboys show that they actually want to play,
Yeah.
you can't stop. I mean,
No.
understand the 49ers have less talent than the Lions do right now. They still got a good defense,
Yep.
but they
That's
may
true.
be hurting. But can the Cowboys stop them still? They're still good with Kittle. They're still good with Jennings. They're still good.
Defense can't stop
They
a
still-
nosebleed.
But
Devo's
Ricky, though, Ricky for the 49ers played pretty well last week.
That's being shot. Ayuk's
Yeah.
gone for the year.
Yeah, I'm
tore
still going
everything in that knee.
49ers.
Yeah, hell within that knee. Pop everything.
Yep.
I'm still going 49ers until
Yeah.
Cowboys can prove that they can stop a nosebleed.
Oh yeah.
My bad. A running nose. That's more common.
That's more common.
Oh.
Okay.
So we all got the 49ers.
I mean, if you want to see the Cowboys win, you just have to play Madden.
Jesus.
wow, well, I want to go there.
Ow. We're
So
all
we are auditioning for a third moron next week.
maybe 2 morons. I keep pissing off Google. Hey, still Brooklyn Nets by 20 tomorrow over the Milwaukee Bucks. Watch them win by 20 tomorrow night. That'd be some crap. Anyway,
Go with my truck, my brake lines are
all right, so then
great.
Monday Night Football, we got the Steelers and the Giants.
Steelers all the way.
I think this is actually going to be a little bit better game than people think.
Yes,
I think it's gonna be better because I think the Giants have a good defense and the neighbors is pretty good and stuff like that. But you're going Steelers. I'm going Steelers.
yes,
I'm going
because of
Steelers.
their
And I
good
got-
defense, and Russell Wilson will probably continue playing like he will.
I got a two-letter name for you. TJ.
TJ Watt, yeah.
TJ Watt's gonna get after Daniel Jones.
I just haven't seen Daniel Jones overtake a really good defense in his career.
And this Steelers defense is
Yeah.
nasty, man.
And with these good quarterbacks that you have, like you were mentioning Brady and Rodgers, in Rodgers' heyday, he finds a way to beat these great defenses. Brady finds a way to beat these great
Mhm.
defenses. I haven't seen that from Daniel Jones. And we're going to say Steelers are a top 5 defense. Let's just say that because historically this is a defensive team.
Oh yeah,
Steelers all the way.
Steel curtain.
How could you not pick against the Giants? Red, white, and blue. How could you? F it, Steelers.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No Giants.
And then
They're not America's team. I can tell you that much.
And then Thursday night.
Thursday night. They maybe went right and blue, but they didn't play like it.
No.
Thursday night, we got the Jets and the Texans. And I think we all kind of agreement on this one as well.
CJ Stroud's going to tear apart that defense.
I don't know about tear it apart, but he's not going to have a problem with it.
No.
I think the only thing that saves the Jets in this game is Indy's playing Houston tomorrow in Houston. Indy always plays Houston tough, smack them around a little bit. Houston on a short week going to New York. That's the only chance the Jets have.
But you're still picking the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to still pick the Texans because
Yeah.
honestly, right now, and I hate to say it, even though he's Ohio State quarterback, he's a better quarterback in this matchup.
He's better than Rodgers. Yes,
Right now.
right now, that team is playing better than the Jets. I can't trust the Jets until they start winning. They got Devontae. They got another week with him and a little extra practice because it's Thursday. Or no, they play Sunday. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah,
it's Thursday and then it's Sunday or Monday game. But but they got time. They got this. They got. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see enough from the Jets to where they're going to change what they do because that offensive line is garbage.
Mhm.
That defense has not played the way it should, and I don't think they're going to stop CJ Stroud.
No,
I think the Texans are a team that can also vie to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so we're good with that. Now we got our college games, and we all have Ohio State and Penn State.
This is where we get a little different.
This game right here, we do have one differentiate that we talked about.
Yep.
Your people's pick could change. Again, this ain't college game day. We don't have it locked in before. You could change on the spot if you wanted to. In this game, I'm going Ohio State.
Okay.
I think Ohio State usually, except when people, use the 12-man on the field advantage, usually find a way to win these games against Penn State, against Michigan, against usually Big Ten. They didn't against Oregon, but I think they'll find a way against. Plus, right now, Penn State's playing a tough game against Wisconsin. Yes, so did Ohio State, but I mean, Penn State's playing a tough game against Wisconsin. I'm going Ohio State. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be very close, and I don't think it's gonna be like a 35-30 game. I think it's gonna be like 21-17 kind of game.
I'm going different because of looking at the Nebraska team. Yes, Nebraska's good, but usually Ohio State could blow them out of water, and they didn't.
But again, they're a different Nebraska team.
Yes.
Penn State should be blowing Wisconsin out of the water, but they're not.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going with Penn State because of their surprise team going. No one really expected them to be as good as they are right now.
And I'm not digging on what you're picking. I'm just saying you're saying Nebraska. They should be But I'll bring up the point that Penn State should be blowing out Wisconsin too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm bringing up.
Yeah.
Because I think this is another coin flip game.
It really is. It really is.
You have another coin flip game later on for our picks too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going with Penn State because I think they can beat Ohio State and Oregon.
This is a pick I'm okay with losing if Penn State beats Ohio State.
I am taking. I hate taking this game because I don't like either one.
The team down south.
You got to take Ohio State because
the team from the south.
Yep. Just because of the fact that these are these types of games that they don't lose, and they're playing Penn State. Penn State, I think the only advantage they have is that it's home. They'll have the home crowd, but Ohio State just better matchup for them, and I think they're going to bounce back after this. Last two games they lose to Oregon, barely beat Nebraska. Ryan Day's going to have them boys practicing this week.
Has College Game Day gone to Penn State this year?
That's where they should be.
If they haven't gone to Penn State, they're going there.
Happy Valley.
If they have not gone to Penn State, that's exactly where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirk won't call the game, I don't think, because I think it's on Fox.
It's on Fox. It's 11 o'clock.
That should be a night game. That should be a night game.
Mm-hmm.
If you heard my clap, by the way, that's because the Rangers did beat the Ducks 2-1.
Was it 3-1 or 2-1? 2-1.
2-1.
At least they didn't come back on you.
No, they didn't. So Strickland allowed one goal at the end, probably.
That's why he's not getting his contract. He allowed one goal to the Ducks. Cut him. Trade him away.
Trade him. He allowed a goal, damn it.
Trade him to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
No, we ain't
for future picks and $10 million in cash.
F them picks. Okay.
I don't care. I'm just kidding.
So the next game I have is Army and the Air Force. I'm going Army.
Okay.
Straight. I mean, I'm not entertaining it. Army's going to beat the Air Force because they're going to be sitting in chairs all week waiting.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Navy destroyed Air Force. I think Army can handle Air Force.
So you think Army's going to P. Diddy the Air Force?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without the oil.
Without the oil.
In the lube.
You got a baby oil?
All right.
You know, he had 19 rushing touchdowns, right? Yeah, I think the quarterback is another 5 rushing touchdowns.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Me?
Yeah, he's talking. He's like,
My mic's over here.
I'm just
yeah. So that game for me is Army, and then my other college game was Georgia, Florida. Good game, but ain't nothing more obnoxious than a drunk Georgia fan. Go Bulldogs!
Yeah, like it. So what were your games?
My games are Louisiana Tech, Sam Houston State, and Wisconsin and Iowa. I'm going with Sam Houston because I've been kind of keeping track of them. They've been pretty decent. They lost a couple games. That was to better teams, Power 5 schools. I'm going with Sam Houston. And Wisconsin and Iowa, I'm always going with Wisconsin.
Yep.
Rivalry game, and that's what I'm
Rivalry
talking about. You had another flip of the coin game. This game is always defense. I know Iowa and Northwestern, by the way, early in the game, it was like punt, safety, punt,
They
field goal.
benched Cade McNamara too.
but
Iowa
then-
did.
Yeah, and then what happened? Yeah, they won like 42-7 against Northwestern. I was like, oh my god, I saw it on
benched.
I saw it on
No,
Facebook.
they benched Cade McNamara and they took off.
Yeah, so-
that's what I said. They
Yeah,
benched Cade.
Yeah, because when I saw on there was like it's a punt, safety, this and this. I'm like, man, what's the score of this game? I looked at it's like 42-7. I'm like, why on Facebook am I reading that's a bore fest?
Right.
But I guess once they benched the quarterback, they're like, hey, we found our guy. Cade's
Right.
done. He ain't never playing another snap unless this
No.
dude gets hurt.
It was funny. I read that. I'm like, well, they benched your quarterback. How bad is this game? Then I come back to it and they win 40-16 or so. It was like what you said, 40 something. Like, well, obviously they made the right call. So
Yeah, clearly they weren't doing nothing before they benched him.
Right. So my second game was the University
So
of Massachusetts.
ironic.
Oh,
is
you're
it-
gonna interrupt me, aren't you?
No,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say
Not so fast, midget.
so ironic in that game. So they benched Cade McNamara for the quarterback, whose name is Brendan Sullivan. You know
Okay.
when he transferred from
Where?
Northwestern.
Wow, that's a full circle moment right
So,
there.
The only reason they did so good is because he knew the playbook.
But you still got to go out there and score. Ooh.
That's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Houston's or Utah's gonna take it away. But anyway,
The coaching of Cam Rising, 10-year sophomore. There you go.
as
More
he's the
like
coach-
20-year senior.
His 13th year of eligibility, he's just gonna be a coach.
He's in the special education room.
Speaking-
there.
before we go with your picks,
Yeah.
did you hear about the NC State quarterback who announced his retirement? He's done with football. And he's gonna start his coaching career because of his injury.
Who's the NC State quarterback?
I can't remember what his name was off the top of my head. I just read
Oh,
it,
he's transferred from Coastal Carolina.
and he got hurt, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna be done."
Is that the one that we were watching that one day? He got hurt in that game, and then that other guy came
I
in.
think so.
And then the like really bad interception, like horrible
Yeah,
pass interception.
But it's that quarterback that got
Okay.
hurt. He said yes. He said he's gonna retire.
It started his coaching career.
Probably because he really, I think he was like what 6th, 7th year kind of guy. You know, been around. He knows he's not gonna go to the NFL. He's like
Concussions.
Tua.
Oh man.
It's Tua before Tua.
Okay.
He's retiring before he
Oh,
becomes
good
Tua.
for him though. Like Tua with common sense. Do it while you're in school because you can still change. He could still probably change majors and get that coaching.
But he's going to
degree.
be a coach. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, he probably suffered a lot of concussions. I just knew it was injured. I couldn't remember what his injury was when he got hurt. He probably got another concussion, and then he's like, "I'm done."
So I looked up an article about Grayson McCall, and he said in a post on Instagram, "I've battled injuries my whole career, but this is the one I cannot come back from." Brain specialists, my family and I come to conclusion that it is in my best interest to hang the cleats up. I've done
Yep.
everything I can to continue, but this is where the good Lord has called me to serve in a different space.
Okay, yeah. Again, Tua with common sense.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ouch.
I saw
It-
that.
it
Hit. I
still
saw
sucked.
that NCAA, the NC State hit.
It's still rough as a young guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams going to the NFL probably to, hey, you know what? I'm going to call it quits. 'Cause
Yeah.
my health is more important to me.
Right.
And like you said, he's still a young guy, and he's
23.
23. Like I said, he could change majors in school, get his coaching degree while he's coaching the team.
Yeah, be a like a grad coach and all that stuff.
Yeah.
High graduate.
I remember. I think it was like Arkansas.
Coach, what do I do? Not what I did.
That a graduate transfer coach suited up for I think like Arkansas or some school and played quarterback.
Okay. All right, Carl, go with your picks here.
Speaking of the SEC, right? UMass and Mississippi State, and I took Mississippi State.
Oh, you don't want to take You don't want to take the Minutemen?
Hell no. Sorry, I've never seen them win
don't
more than
wanna
3
take the
games in a
Minutemen?
season.
They
Go
don't win.
Bulldogs! Not so fast, midget, because the Bulldogs are Mississippi State. Like that. And then I got Texas Tech and Iowa State, which the wife is actually going to next week. I often thought about taking Texas Tech just to piss them off, but no, I'm taking Iowa State.
Yeah.
Cyclones, man, they're looking good.
Mhm.
Cyclones and BYU both could actually make the playoff.
BYU won today, right?
Yeah.
I know they said that could be a game that they got tripped up against UCF.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but they were talking about it.
UCF is a tough team. They may not be winning these games, but they're taking Colorado, Iowa State, and
that's what's
BYU
good
to the
about some of
limbs.
these college football teams. Like they may be 1-10,
Mhm.
but like those 9 losses, they're playing these teams tough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I love when you get those
Yep.
games where it could go either way. Like Vandy for the longest time, right? They were a cupcake team, but they still played that
Punching
one
bag.
SEC team really tough one year. Like they may never play Alabama tough, but they would play Tennessee tough, or they'd play Arkansas, who's doing good one year tough, or LSU tough.
Right.
They were
Now they're playing tough everybody because they're just.
It
good.
reminds me of the Detroit Lions back in the day. After their winless season, they came back. They only made 3 or 4 games. You did not want to go into that dome and play them because they were feisty.
Yes.
Right.
And that's a lot of like the Vanderbilts, the well, for the longest time, Iowa State was kind of that way. Like we're not going to beat you, but we're going to take you to the
Iowa
limit.
State, yes,
Yeah.
and Iowa. I mean,
Iowa.
Iowa's that way too. So
Minnesota-ish, a little bit, kind of. Purdue is just the punching bag of the Big Ten this year, but
always is punch back.
I read it last week, so we're going.
So
to
I'll read it, but before we go there, just remember this is for entertainment purposes only.
You don't bet.
Don't take our word and bet and go, well, they said they're gonna win. Don't do that. So cold take.
If they have a short person, don't take my bet. Not so fast.
Not so fast, midget. All right. Cold take this week. Here we go.
Our last
Was it all
segment of the
origami
night.
like?
Anybody ask any questions? Everybody just kind of like.
No, I was like,
out.
did you have to fold the paper all origami like?
Whoo.
Next week he's unfolding in a freaking swan.
Here we go.
Right.
If you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell them?
Get Rogaine.
I'm like, look, watch for this clip with Glee Corso. He calls a kid a midget.
I just
All
have a
right.
picture of him in his
You be the
yearbook in
first
high
one.
school.
That was deep.
Man, this is a good one.
I'll take it seriously, but
I'm gonna take it seriously.
I
So-
seen his yearbook photos. Yeah.
So-
Some
I had like that kind of hair back in high school. I'm not gonna lie, but then it just gradually went back.
So I'm guessing this is kind of like
back instead.
the song "Letter to Me" by Brad Paisley, right? If I could write a letter to me, what would I tell myself back in time? And it was probably like a 12, 13-year-old kid, right? So you're telling yourself at like 13, 14 years old. That's what I'm taking this question as.
Okay.
So I would tell myself, hey, this, because I didn't decide I was going to go to the Navy until like my senior year, right?
Yeah.
I would tell myself, take the Navy more seriously.
Yeah.
One, because when I went up for maybe not going to a cooking field, like tell them, hey, look at all my options. Because I found out later what I actually qualified for, and it was pages upon stuff. But when you get in the military, they tell you like the 3 things they need. Well, guess what? They told everyone else the 3 things they need. So when it was time for my time for advancement, out of 350 people, 4 people's making it. So you could pass the test, but just remember, you could be the 5th one on that list.
Don't say they don't have what you want. You go into the recruiting office, hold out until they give you what you
And they have. It's not that they don't have what you want. They have what you want. The problem is it's not that they didn't have what you want, because they tell you the 3 that they need. You can say, what do I qualify for? And they'll give you a list that you qualify for, and you can pretty much go into any of those things you qualify for. Right. The 3 fields is what they need at the time. That's why they give you the 3 fields, and they usually have a bonus on those.
Right.
So when I was coming in, they still needed cooks. They still needed cooks.
Not
They
wrong.
weren't giving bonus.
No, I'm laughing because you're right.
They weren't giving bonuses for it. They still needed cooks, right?
Yeah.
Well, the people that were taking the test, man, they just put the name on the damn test. Next group of people come. If they don't advance to the next rank, the people that are taking the test, my last time taking the test to advance, one person was going to advance. You had to have the highest test score and P&A points and EP points and all these other points to advance, or you didn't advance.
Is that the ASVAB?
The ASVAB is the to get into the military.
Okay.
So when you do the promo for the test, the promo, you learn about leadership, but you also learn about your rank, right?
Okay.
Or your rate. My bad, not rank, but rate. So you learn. Penn State update, by the way, it's just scored 14-10.
Well, I'm gonna change my pick here. I'm just gonna go Penn State over Ohio. Okay.
So now they're locked in. But no, so I would tell myself, hey, pick a different rate. Pick like something also that you're gonna use when you get out.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna be a cook, but then I just changed. Right. I could have been an electrician. I could have done this. I could have done this. I qualified for ET on sub, aviation ET. I qualified for that stuff. I qualified for aviation ordnance. I should have done that. That's building the bombs. That's one thing I would tell myself. Yeah, well, we won't talk about that. But well, actually, the person I will say the recruiter did what was best for him. But the recruiter I'm talking about, by the way, is not my stepbrother because he took over after I picked all that stuff. I will admit that. So I just want to say, if someone's watching this, it's not throwing shade at my stepbrother who took over for my recruiter to finish my paperwork. He didn't take me to the ASFAB and stuff like that. It was somebody else.
Right.
Because he also told me you should have done this. So that's what I would tell my younger self. If I could give one advice, there's other stuff I would tell my younger self in recent events, but
right.
it's pretty much that would be the biggest one. Because if I would have told myself that, I'd probably still be in the Navy today, which, by the way, if I was still in the Navy today, I'd have like less than 3 years before I could retire. Just saying. It's been that. It's been.
You should tell yourself.
Hey, you've been doing good since you've been in the middle.
Yeah.
Jake,
Anyways, things I would tell my younger self is that try harder. Also, things may be dark now, but it will get better eventually. Just gotta look on the optimism.
Yep.
That's good.
That is good. That's deeper than my Rogaine comment, by the way. Yeah, that's way deeper.
He's like, get yourself some Rogaine.
Get yourself some Rogaine. You
May
can
look
elaborate a little more if you want.
I know it's like may look bad now, but it will get better eventually. So
yeah,
that's a good one, man. That's a real good one.
Any like long-term goals? Just keep doing what you're doing, or you want to stay where you're at? Like, is that something we could elaborate on too? Like, would you?
He's trying to like say it with the cold take. Yeah, I mean, I think if you were going to tell yourself some long, like when you get to our age, you would think a little bit harder for other stuff you could tell, right?
Yeah.
Because there's other stuff I could tell my young self, right? Like when I look at that Brad Paisley song, like, hey, don't forget to put gas. Actually, don't do that. It's kind of cool what happens because he probably made out with the girl or whatever. Yeah, I like tell myself some little stuff of this, little stuff of that. But more importantly, I want to.
More importantly, we got a update.
Wisconsin just scored a field goal. Is 14-13.
How did I know that was going to be 13 instead of 17?
I thought it was going to be 17. How fast he changed the thing.
Oh my god. Damn.
But no, like you could tell yourself some little small vices and stuff like that. Like a couple things, right? Like, but the only reason I said that one long one is because that would change my course because I'd still be in the Navy now. So like all this other stuff would not even happen.
I might tell my younger self that, hey, look out for this date. It's gonna change your life forever.
In a good way?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, if it's a good way, I would never tell myself. Because now the back of myself is looking forward to that date.
And you're gonna blot out everything
and
else.
you might block something else that leads up to that date. I would never tell myself the good thing. I would tell myself, hey, the Navy's great. You want to do this instead, and it's gonna change your life. Because then I'm not gonna tell them about. Because honestly, if I changed myself from back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And you go back and you go, hey, tell yourself this and do this. Would I have my kids? Probably not, because I was out of the military. I was out of this. It wouldn't lead to that. But you know what? It's also going to lead me to a better life to where I would be now.
Right.
That, and again, when you tell yourself that, yes, your future self, like I'm big, like if you go on to time travel, right? And you stop something from happening. When you go back to the future, you're not going to remember the memories of your kids and stuff like that. I don't think you come back to the future and you still remember the life you would have had. Well, what's my like Back to the Future, right? You're not going to remember the life you would have had.
Mhm.
Once you get to the future, your memory would be erased and the timeline would jump.
Yep.
So that's why I said, like, yeah, my life is good now, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But if I could tell myself one thing, that's why I would tell it. So I wouldn't tell myself the date because then I'm looking forward to the date, and I might do stuff that changes how that date happens.
Right. Yep. That's pretty deep too. And we're gonna have different opinion. We're gonna have different
Jake,
takes.
what's that date? And what happened?
It was I believe June 2nd, 2019. Was when I moved out of my parents.
Okay. Well, you know what? Actually, that you could just say, hey, this day right here is going to change your life and leave it at that. And all you're doing is thinking about the date. If you don't know what happens, then that's good, man.
I think it's one of those things. If you told yourself, "Hey, something's gonna happen," just be on the lookout. You don't have to give away the date or anything. You just
Or
be
what
like,
happens on that day. Yes.
Yeah.
Like for what that was. And we know exactly what happened in the story. That I'll leave it at that. Hey, this date right here is going to change your life, and just leave it at that.
Yep.
Don't tell yourself what would happen that day, because then you could try to make it.
More or less, actually, what
Right.
it is.
Actually, you could probably make it better by telling yourself what would happen, and you need to have your conversation with this to where it happens earlier, maybe.
Right. Hmm. I think what I would do is I would have taken my senior year of high school seriously and may have gotten like better grades. I was actually trying to achieve the goal of looking forward to going to broadcasting school at the University of Florida if I had to maintain a certain GPA.
You wouldn't be with us, man.
Nope.
You'd be in bigger, better things.
Maybe.
We'd be watching you making those picks like Pat McAfee.
I don't know about all that.
Lee
but-
Course over there. Hold up, midget.
Hold up, midget. But I'd be also a Florida Gator too. So I don't know. My heart would be with Michigan with the team, but I also would root for the Gators, which I still kind of do anyway. But I mean, then another thing is probably I wouldn't tell myself.
Don't take your hair for granted.
No, it was actually had involved with alcoholism. Is I don't want to say that I would change it, but I would say maybe at some point you're going to want to not do that anymore or as much. And I wouldn't say I'm recovering or anything like that, but it got to the point where something needed to happen, and I'm glad that I chose not to do that as much anymore. So, I mean, like he was saying, hey, on this date, your life's going to change, and leave it at that, or just be like, hey, something good's going to happen, and you're not going to be in this mess anymore, or whatever. So that would be what I would say.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's good. I mean, all great answers.
Yep.
But to be honest, like, if the question was, would we do something? Honestly, in my life right now, I don't think I would. I got
No.
2 kids I love, and again, if I would change myself in the Navy, I wouldn't. Who knows where I'd be with kids? Who knows if I would, where I would be? My first marriage was in the military, but would we still be married at that point? Because
Right.
we'd still be in the military, going off someplace and not have to worry about what happened with the split. Right? I wouldn't be married a second time with somebody, because I was still in the Navy. Right? Who knows where I'd be? Right?
Mhm.
So I wouldn't want to change something for. It's like that quote, right? The devil you know versus the devil you don't. I wouldn't want to change for something I don't know.
Right. I get that.
So pretty much that's good, right?
Yep.
We good. We got a little deep there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
The deepest I think we've ever gotten on this show. But that's a good cold take.
Yep.
That was probably I think one of the best cold takes we had. Definitely brought up some stuff that we had to think about, but then I think we all pretty thought quickly on it.
Mhm.
So next week we're all still gonna be here.
Yep. Should
I just wanted to know because I know you said your wife's going to the Texas Tech Iowa State game, so
I'll get it figured out.
we'll figure it out. I mean, well,
I should be here. I don't have anything else planned.
I think, yeah, pretty much. I don't think for the next few weeks. So it's actually going to be the first podcast in November. So we're in Thanksgiving month.
Thanksgiving month, just coming off of
Halloween.
Halloween. Happy Halloween,
Yeah, then we
everybody.
watch a horror movie Thanksgiving then.
Hey, look, Thanksgiving
The
Terrifier.
gobbling turkey just comes.
Hey,
at
no,
you.
no.
See-
Thanksgiving. Terrifier 3 is gonna be on HBO Max.
But-
No, like this is like one of my like favorite new horror movies to watch.
Mm.
Was Thanksgiving.
I want to watch that one. Because I already watched it in theaters.
Little butterball turkey coming at you. There you go.
One of the things that happened in the movie, it was pretty kind of hilarious.
Well, this is a Thanksgiving horror movie. So, anyway,
What are you, the
Wait,
freaking
wait,
cornucopia gonna get you?
Oh, let's just say someone was baked like an actual turkey.
so let's just give up some updates real quick. The Yankees are still down 4-1 against the Dodgers.
Bottom 6, 2 outs.
Bottom of the sixth. Penn State is up on Wisconsin 14-13. And then Texas A&M just scored, so now it's 14-17. Texas A&M losing to LSU.
Right.
So next week, same time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. We'll figure out all the big boards and stuff like that. Take our picks, run with them if you want, but remember it's entertainment purposes only. Halloween, everyone have a safe Halloween.
Safe
All the
trick-or-treating.
kids trick or treating and everything.
Have fun.
If you're lucky to have the day after Halloween off for the kids, I know in Texas they do actually. They vote on what day they want off, and they all vote for the day after Halloween. In one of the school districts, so that's nice to have.
Mhm.
If you're a Catholic like me, don't forget to go to church either on Halloween or the day after for All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day. So, any questions before we go?
As
Nope.
he's sneezing back there.
As he's sneezing, I thought he was gonna say something. So, everyone have a great night, have a great Halloween, and we will
Bye.
see you.
Bye.
Don't do drugs.
Like and subscribe.